to get into this series. We got two banger teams with us today.
Yes, absolutely. Got two finalists who have fought their way valiantly through the first stage and through the semifinals with massive bangers on both sides. And now we are here in these best of five finals. And that's really good to have a best of five finals. It's 3 games, you get 3 shots to see who takes home the bragging rights today. And our competitors will be Glaive Esports Prime going up against the Mercenaries.
Yeah. Um, Both of them had solid performances last night. Glaive Prime coming off two 2-0 victories. Mercenaries went 2-0 in their first series against Gang 7 Mirage, and then they went 2-1 against Ergatum. So both definitely performing pretty well. Excited to see how they match up against each other. Hopefully it's just as explosive as the games yesterday.
Absolutely, yeah. Glaive getting that sweet undefeated run all the way to finals where Mercenaries, they had definitely had to fight for it in their series against Ergatum. Didn't make it easy for them, but they fought and clawed their way. And now they're here at the final two to see who gets the big W at the end of the day. I'm really excited to hop into draft and get that going. We'll be there in a moment, but just talking more about these teams, which one do you think is going to have the edge coming into this final match?
Um, I want to say the edge is towards Glaive. Not only do they have that momentum of being 4-0, like you said from yesterday, but they are also coming off their games in Risen's Champion League for the Tier 2 tournament for Proving Grounds. So they're playing against a lot of higher level players and higher caliber teams in that tournament. So they're definitely getting a little bit more experience at the higher level. So I wanna give them the slight edge, but at the same time, the side of Mercenaries have some very experienced players on their roster. So you can't count them out. It's a very slight edge towards Glaive. That's what I'm gonna go with. But I think either team can really take it.
Yeah, definitely. The skill disparity between Mercenaries and Glaive is something to note, as Mercenaries having one Diamond 2 player. I know that's a meme in itself, but they do have, two challengers as well as two masters on their side. As Glaive, they are hitting those like higher echelon amateur teams and the upside of the collegiate teams that they do play against on the regular. So that does give them that little bit of an edge in the competitive landscape that you like to look for. Hopefully, this will be a hyper competitive series. I'm not expecting a 3-0, maybe a 3-1 in Glaive. What say you, Ivar?
I know I don't want to say it because I don't want to curse it, but I think this is going to 5 games.
Yeah. Oh man, I would love to get a 5 game series in for sure. Everybody loves those lengthy competitive series. The tension, cut it with a knife. It's it's something we all hope to see for sure, and we are going to be getting into that pro draft here in just a moment.
Yeah, we're straight into pick ban already, like you mentioned. We see the Viego and Lulu taken away from Mercenaries, the Gwen taken away from DMR. We saw him on that pick last night on stream. Did really well on that champion. So, uh, good scouting coming out from Mercenaries.
Yeah, good scouting indeed. Taking out that monstrous Gwyn performance that DMR had. Carry champions, that's his bread and butter. The man loves to just fight and win. The Kindred being locked off the table, good scouting on that side of Glaive, as we do wait for that last band coming out for Mercenaries. Those top tier junglers with the Kindred and the Zinzao and Viego even being that top tier
Sin's up.
flex, take it off the table.
Lee Sin is
Uh,
up.
Lee Sin is available. We will see who's going to scoop that up, whether that is the dubious Lane Lee Sin or the still very much viable Jungle Lee Sin. It's the Instill Lock Karma. Good pickup there. Also, another good flex to have. You see her strengths in this Enchanter-esque meta. If they want to have her top lane or mid lane and then put a engage in the bot lane, because we know Ratchet loves to do some engage heavy stuff. The
Uh,
answer from
the blind
Mercenaries.
Akali.
Haha, love to see it. Yes, the Blind Collie picked up there, and the Varus pickup. That's like one of the priority marksmen you like to see uh, grabbed by teams. Also, a good takeaway from Sindillion, who did have a very good game on that himself yesterday and last night.
I think
So
I, I think Sindelian played it on stream twice in their
Yes.
victory over Nightless. He played it both games, so definitely a takeaway. But like you mentioned, definitely a strong pick still within the meta. Has the versatility to go poke, can go that DPS on hit build as well. There's some instances we see it going AP, but it's very, very rare. But a lot of versatility on that champion.
Yeah, very, very versatile build path. Varus is the everyman of the hour at the moment. He can get those builds that you want him to. And the Diana pickup, Diana Renekton answer for Glaive. Oh, that's kind of scary. We know how much they love to play aggressive. We know how much they like to fight you in any instance they can. And getting that Renekton along with the Diana is definitely going to enable them to force the fights they want and try to get that early game lead and completely snowball against the competition.
I wonder if they're going to try to lane this Renekton against this Akali wherever it goes.
Yeah, it's because Renekton can also be flexed. We have seen it a lot recently in mid as well as top. And there's the Alistar picking up from Mercenaries, taking that away from Ratchet, who kind of smurfed it yesterday with his engages. So we're seeing that pickup being taken from Glaive as Mercenaries and have a very solid bot lane with the Varus Alistar combo.
Yeah. Varus Alistar provides a lot of CC, slow, sustain. It's a solid lane for sure. I think here we're going to see them to see the side of Mercenaries ban out ADCs. Yep, we see the Samira takeaway. I'm
Yeah.
expecting an Ezreal ban. I'm not sure if there's a higher prio ban they're going to go for here, but we do see the Ivern ban. That's something we don't see every day.
Yeah, the Ivern ban, a little bit of a target. Gonna take that away. I haven't really seen a lot of Ivern in the meta recently, but it's a pretty devious pocket pick. Can fulfill that supportive role that say like the Karma or Lulu plays, but from the jungle. That's going to get taken off the table though. As we do have multiple jungle bans coming out on Glaive targeting Rourke over here.
Yep. Yeah, the Karthus hover,
Arcus
and
as
it's
well.
that's four jungle bans, arguably you can say.
They're trying to choke this man out, make him have a rough time, as he has shown a high champ pool in this jungle. So he can play a myriad of things that he wants, but they're just taking as much as they can off the table to try to push him to that outer limit of that pool that he has. As the Silas is that last ban for Mercenaries, the Volibear hover. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, and the Volibear lock-in providing that flex. It could be Volibear top, it can be Volibear jungle, it can be a Akali mid, it can be a Akali top. The side of Glaive does not know where anything is going just yet, and Mercenary really leaving their draft the draft open for this R5 pick that'll come up.
Yeah, leaving no cards folded yet, so a lot of rotations can be put around. And Sindelian, he's going to go for the Ezreal. Now, he did have an Ezreal game yesterday too, I believe,
Mhm.
and he was just kind of playing it to its absolute best, dip dodging around, not getting caught out as much as he can. So and we know he can play any marksman. Like he is the marksman guy. Like he's one of the ones you want on your team. It's like, hey, it's cool. We can carry. And there's Ratchet on that signature Nautilus, maybe the hover cycling through all the engaged supports he wants to play. And yeah, we're going with the Nautilus here. So if we
He
remember yesterday,
he got to play Nautilus twice yesterday. Once on stream, once off stream, and like we mentioned, both games were victories, and he was definitely a strong factor in those Ws. I'm really interested to see what Mercenaries is going to pick here, where they're going to decide to put these lane assignments.
oh for sure, yeah, talking about Ratchet on that Nautilus, the very triggering Dark Seal early build and was basically the carry for his team. And the last hover for Mercenaries is looking like a Wukong here.
Yep, it's locked in.
That'll be the lock in. Yes, yes. So
I'm going to say Wukong top, uh, Volibear jungle, Akali mid.
yeah, that would be the traditional order of things I would think to say. Uh Wukong pretty good. I would assume that Karma is going to be going mid and the Renekton going top once they get everything switched around. But they could just go in just as is too, as a lineup looks. But it's gonna be, that fighting matchup in the top lane, Renekton versus Wukong. Whichever one gets ahead can really influence their teams in the fights heading into mid game. Whereas the mid lane, keeping that Akali from getting that disgusting one item power spike that she can normally get will actually just prove to be fatal. Maybe Mercenaries can squeeze that out. I'm assuming Glaive are going to recognize that game plan and try to act accordingly and not let her get this Akali off the ground. Cinnamon will have a pretty tall task ahead of him.
Yeah, we saw Cinnamon pull out the Kali last night actually, and assuming this is into Karma, this is the exact matchup he played last night, and he ended that game 7-0 and 8. So he definitely knows the matchup and the in and outs of the laning. So if it does end up being this Karma mid with the Renekton top, he should be in pretty good shape to scale towards the late game. I think the Renekton mid might be the better call into the Akali. Kind of denies a lot of the early game pressure that Akali uh, could have against an enchanter in the mid lane. So I'm really interested to see where these lane assignments go. We should be getting into client draft here shortly. Um, and then we'll be able to, see where these champions are lined up.
Yeah, and mentioning on that matchup, talking about it, the that does invite the chance for a just in-game lane swap as well. Just trying to make sure they get that good matchup for Cinnamon. If Diomar is feeling frisky, we know he does like to play these carries, so I would put the bet in the Renekton going to top lane and flexing his muscles, but we might see a different side of him today in this first game of this best of five series. It is a longer series, so you have a little bit of time to experiment and try things out if you'd like. So we might actually see him pilot that car.
Like you had mentioned, it could very well be DMR on the Renekton mid. It's definitely a possibility. So we are going to be getting into client draft here. So we should know within the next 30, 40 seconds, hopefully a minute or two. Just waiting for teams to ready up. I do want to also mention that Zadox did get the Diana last night as well. I'm assuming this is Diana
Yes,
jungle, right? And against in their game against Wayne State University, you could say he was 1v9. He
was
was 12-2 and 13 on the champion. Great scoreline and was really taking over the game.
yeah, definitely had a nuclear game on that Diana last night, and it's just super scary to get these very aggressive early game champions that can snowball the trajectory of the team like that heavily that quickly. So this like Renekton and Diana being sped up by Karma is like absolutely terrifying if you're behind. There's virtually no escape for them to jump in and dash in and dive and take you out. And pairing that, with the Ezreal giving himself his own agency and the Nautilus that we know Ratchet loves to play so well and pilot so expertly, you're kind of thinking that Glaive, yeah, they might just speed run this whole best of five with this composition. But Mercenaries does have a very solid comp in their own right that they can definitely put up a good fight here in this game one.
Yeah. I do want to also point out that the Zadox on this Diana was uh, teaming with Ratchet on this Nautilus, so a lot of support jungle roams that could happen together with these champions are available. But on the contrary, with on the side of Mercenaries, we do get to see ZXYC on this Varus. Did get to play it last night as well. He played it 3 times, all 3 victories. So he's definitely proficient on the champion. Excited to see which build paths he goes. I believe he did opt for the lethality all 3 games. So it's going to be really interesting. We're just waiting for the players here, so just bear with us, chat.
Yeah, just bear with us as we get everything loaded up. So we can get in this nice action-packed game because we know both of the teams will fight it out, and I'm excited to get into it. And here we go.
Yeah, draft has started. These bans, we know what the bans are. So hopefully they get through these bans fairly quickly, and then we'll be able to see where these champions are going.
Yeah, so we can get the final lock-in of these rosters and the positions on where these champs are going. Maybe we'll both be proven wrong. Who knows? They could just 1-2 switcheroo us. But as it stands, I do think we have a pretty solid composition on both sides. Both of these teams going to show us what they got, and it's going to be a very bloody, maybe a kill per minute game like we were kind of having last night in the semifinals.
Yeah,
Something of that flavor.
that was very entertaining to watch. I hope we get the same style of gameplay, but maybe these teams are a little bit more methodical and go for uh, more macro-oriented play. But we'll see. There's a lot of explosiveness that can happen this game with the champions that are picked.
Yeah, lots of explosiveness. The early fights are going to be fun to watch, just because they can really be at each other's throats from the get-go, essentially. And well, we do know Glaive does have that little bit better experience when it does come to playing against higher talented teams, I would say. Um, but I do expect Mercenaries to put up a pretty good fight in this in the first game, just because this composition can go blow for blow, essentially. They both do have very snowbally top laners. You know, if the raid acting gets behind, it's always a little bit tricky for him to actually be an agency. Same for the Wukong though. So both of these snowbally reliant champions can either make or break the team fights essentially in the mid game. Whereas like the junglers, Volibear, if he gets behind, he's just gonna build tanky. It's all right. If he gets ahead, he can build whatever he wants. You know,
Yeah,
looking
I
at
think last night we saw Yanni on the Sunder
yeah,
Zonia's
yeah,
volleyball.
that Thunder Azonia build that he was going, that was very, very interesting to see. It did allow them to pick up the victory. That was team off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Got him.
Ergotum, yes, Team
Yeah.
Ergotum, Yanni Yellow putting on a pretty amazing performance on the Volibear, but being able to go multiple build paths is something Volibear is able to do as well, just depending on the swing of the game. So in the bot lane, this bot lane matchup, I really want to focus in on it because I do think this might be what makes the game go. Because if Ratchet is able to get out of lane safely and a little bit even or ahead, I think that will be such a big influence on the rest of the game. But same thing for Toast, because Alistar can have such a big influence on these lanes as they the mostly melee matchup or melee centric composition that Mercenaries had, because like the only range you have is XYC on this Varus.
Yeah, that's a good point. We didn't really touch on. Very short range comp coming out from the side of Mercenaries, and they are playing into the Ezreal Karma that provides a lot of movement speed for the team and a lot of disengage. So it's going to be interesting to see how they execute these team fights. They need to really go full committal here with the Wukong, Volley, and Alistar, and try to pick up some of these kills. If the side of Glaive are able to, disengage properly and then re-engage themselves, they'll be favored in these team fights. But uh, I'm just really excited to finally see these teams match up. I think game one will kind of start to set the tempo of how the series will go. So I'm really excited for this to start.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited too. Like, this isn't really going to be, a typical one-sided, we win this, so we'll just siege or play it slowly. No, this is going to be fast and hard. It's going to be fighting frenetically everywhere from minute one, as the teams are set.
Yeah,
So,
looks like teams are set. We are in spectator delay now. So it is going to be DMR on that Renekton like we talked about.
yeah.
Still the possibility that he could be taking it mid, but nonetheless, the aggressive bruiser fighter playstyle that DMR has, it makes sense that he is on this champion.
Yeah, and this is just going to be like we were talking about a battle of the Titans, as Glaive being the number one seed and the Mercenaries coming in as the number two seed for this tournament. It's only appropriate that we do have them meet in the finals, both making the bracket runs. And we're going to get started here in this game in just a moment, as we do have everybody loaded in. Cut to a quick break, and once we get back, we will be in the driver's seat for game one of the best of five series between Glaive Esports Prime and Mercenaries. Y'all don't change that channel. We'll be right back. All righty, here we are, everybody. Game one in this best of five series, grand finals, Glaive Prime versus Mercenaries. Ivar, it's time.
Ready, bro. I'm ready. I'm so hyped for this series. We have Glaive Esports Prime, like you said, on the blue side here. We have Mercenaries on the red side, first and second seed coming into this invitational, going through the competition last night, and now we are on this onto the Rift. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty standard. We're seeing some of the statistics from yesterday's gameplay, and I guess now this today's gameplay too coming up. But Karma was 100% pick ban yesterday, and we're going to see Super Big Ego playing that champion today.
Yeah, super big ego, piloting the traditional Karma skin, throwback baby. How many of y'all were around when Karma had her rework? I bet a lot of you weren't. Oh, geez, remember. Haha. So, I don't miss that old tether at all. So with Glaive's composition, it's very run at you and fight you in your face style. We're talking about these melee centric compositions being all the rage nowadays, the current meta, and both teams have opted in for this all in type fighting. Like there's not really going to be any disengage availability for either team for the most part, as everybody's just pushing the go button, pressing your R buttons, and having a ball and seeing what happens. It's about which team is going to be the better scrappy fighters and which team is going to be able to come out on top each time.
Yeah, and we see this matchup in the top lane. We do see DMR matching up against Barrack here in the top lanes, and we do see both junglers starting bot side, so they're going to be pathing towards this top lane. So I'm expecting the first sort of action to happen on the top side of the map. But as I say that, we see some fighting in the bot lane.
Oh, absolutely not. You know, if Ratchet's going to be on a hook champion, he's going to be the first one to throw the first punch, as he does. Takes a little bit of a worse trade from the 2v2 right there, as Toast will be able to, regen with that Alistar passive off of the healing and both the Relic Shield procs. So that's plenty of health coming back his way.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get those procs off, have his potion running to get some healing. We did mention in Champ Select we might have saw the Renekton go mid, but it turns out it's just going to be this Karma Kali mid lane matchup. I want to see how Super Big Ego is able to navigate this lane because last night Cinnamon Bread had a lot of
Oh,
huge trade.
yeah,
Huge trade.
DMR. Look, we were talking about it in Champ Select on how these carry champions he plays. The man plays them very well. Already up 10 CS over his lane opponent, not letting Bert get anything done. And we were also talking about how both of these champions were very snowbally. Speaking of though,
Here.
DMR is going to walk right into the stun, waiting arms of Rourke. There's a dash in. He has a flash, but he's not going to use it. Tries to slice the dice away. That will be first blood going over to Barrack. Mercenaries on the board.
Yeah, Mercenary's going to pick up that first blood, and Rorik got there pretty quickly. He actually opted to just four camp and go straight to that brush because he knew that that wave was crashing top and that DMR was going to roam down to try to get some vision. And he just face checks into a Volibear, and if you're face checking into a Volibear, especially a Volibear that has PTA, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage and have his shield prepped, so he's not going to be able to. He's not going to take a lot in return.
Yeah, you walk into a Volibear, you're gonna have a bad time, and definitely that's some scouting that Mercenaries must have done in watching the tapes back from last night because DMR is a very aggressive player. If he knows he has the skill matchup, he will play forward, he will play up, and always play aggressively. So good on Rourke for being at the perfect place at the perfect time and getting that first blood, allowing Barrack to back in first item Sheen, which is definitely going to help him in this lane in the 1v1, as we do have some more trading going on. And Rourke hovering around this top side, taking a little bit of time to watch how this lane's going to play out as Barrack is, just chipping away at DMR. Gotta get the Cold me just to get some more health back. But we're definitely going to be paying some attention to this top lane.
Yeah. Key thing I want to point out as there's some trading in the bot lane. Hook comes out.
Oh, Hook comes out. The flash. Ooh, Toast. You can't mess those up. Went for the flash combo, but accidentally headbutts Ratchet away. Doesn't get the combo out in time. Now we'll be down a summoner spell for him, and he's not running Hex Flash. Although the Pulverize comes in now, he does get it. There's the Ignite going down. Ratchet tries to throw out the Dredge line, misses. Sweaty Toast healing up at the passive for the last second. Sindillion will get the return kill on him, but did buy a good bit of time for ZFYC to get some more damage. Messes up one time, go in again and do it again, and Sweaty Toast manages to get the combo off and get a kill. But shadowing in this bot lane, we do have Zadix in the brush. ZSYC does have flash, but in his mid lane, oh, that's a lot of damage. Super big ego, flash out, dodges the Q,
Kill.
but the auto. Big solo bolo in the mid lane, super big ego, super big solo kill as ZSYC flashes out, flash in return. Lunar Rush will come in, and Zadix will gift over Sindillion that kill.
Yeah, and Sindillion 2-0 on this Ezreal already. We see Ratchet walking into the mid lane, the TP coming out from the Akali.
Yeah, Ratchet is going to show up, so gives Ego the chance to back safely as he lands a Dredge Line through the minions. Beware the depths indeed, as Ratchet does have good trade damage on this Nautilus at this point in the game. We're going to do some counter jungling. Looks like we're fighting over some Raptors right now, as there is backup here as we're going to back the rest of the team. Cinnamon Bread and Toast are here as well. No skirmish going to come out of it. Just some warding going to go down as everybody makes their way back to their lanes.
Yeah. Hasn't been disappointing us just yet here. Very explosive early game, 6 minutes in, 5 kills. And just the ratchet we saw yesterday, going mid lane, just hooking the Akali 1v1, looking for those kills, bloodthirsty. Uh, I believe yesterday at some point he had a 8 stack Dark Seal on his Nautilus.
Yeah, yeah. No one can forget the 8 stack Dark Seal Nautilus from Ratchet. The amount of damage he was able to pump out and just be that much more use in these fights was just paramount in giving Glaive that 2-0 victory. But in this game, he's trying to replicate the success. Doesn't have the Dark Seal yet. He is down a kill instead of up 2 this time. But it's all in all. But does land another dredge line. All these dredge lines, like this man. That not we joke about the Nautilus hitbox, but come on, Ratchet just makes it look way too easy.
Yeah. He's been hitting them pretty consistently. So it's going to be a key in the team fights. We see some fighting.
3v2 in the top lane. The shield will come down, but no, that's not enough. Moonfall, Zadok's gonna get another kill. There's the ultimate from Burnout for Bear, trying to get 1 kill back, but no, it will be denied. And Zadok's a double kill coming from Zadok's, and on the bot side, they're trying to make something happen. Sweaty Toes taking a lot of damage. Stun's not there. Stun is there. Not too on time. That will be too little too late as the XYC will get a kill back on the Ratchet. But in the end, it is Cendillion standing above everybody. Last man standing, picking up 2 kills. 3-0-1 on this Ezreal.
Yeah, and that top lane skirmish we saw, the big key there was the Karma. The Karma was able to shield, Mantra shield the team, give them the movement speed and the AoE
Yep.
shield to keep them topped off and allowed Zadox to live there, very crucially live there, and to pick up those 2 free kills.
Yeah, very surprising timing on the roams from Super Big Ego. Roman like a support or a jungler on this Karma, as he has the Dark Seal this time around. Double rings up, looking like a NBA ball player, and he is making moves around the map. 1-0 and 2, able to help out his team push this lead that they're slowly but surely accruing.
Very interesting lane swap coming out here.
Oh
They sent
yeah,
Cinnamon Bread bot lane here. There was no wave essentially really crashing. Maybe there was a wave crashing mid that they sent ZXYZ towards mid for, but yeah.
yeah, that was an interesting lane swap indeed. It looks like everybody's going back to reset as Glaive is going to go ahead and start this Infernal Drake. Mercenaries are in the area, but it does not look like they want to try to contest. As Rourke is just, hitting the blue buff. They're going to give this one over. First dragon of the game tends to be given over if they don't feel like contesting, but the next one being the Mountain Drake, I do believe both teams would want to try and go for this.
Yeah, great presence of mind to know that DMR has that TP advantage. Going for that could have turned it into a 5v4 in favor of Glaive, and if that does happen,
Oh,
we'll
wow.
see some more fighting in the bot lane.
Amazing arcane shift, but he can't get away. Cendillion, oh no, the shutdown coming down. ZXYC will pick that up with that piercing arrow as another fight in the mid lane. Super Big Ego, you maybe get another 1v1 on Cinnamon Bread. Cooldowns are there. Oh, Zadox is there too. Lunar Blade comes in, and he's going to come wipe that one right from Big Ego's face. And this mid jungle synergy that we were talking about, both of them roaming around on time, covering each other's backs, covering the team's back, as Rourke tries to come over and shore up some of that disparity by taking out that mid wave.
It also looks like DMR tried to channel that TP towards bot lane, and it was interrupted by that Cyclone from Barrack in the top lane.
Nice.
Very crucial coming out from the Wukong here. Making sure DMR wasn't able to really come down to the bot lane and make that fight even more heavily favored towards the side of Glaive.
Yeah, but speaking of DMR, he's in the jungle as mercenaries are trying to recover. Rourke has to flash over after burning the Stormbreaker just to get that extra health and the extra durability so he can get out from that 2v1 situation. DMR and Zadok's just muscling through and putting mercenaries really on the back foot here. Zadok's, he's rotating over to the Rift Herald, going to take that one for himself. Man, Ivar, this is looking pretty scary for the mercenaries in this early mid game.
Yeah, I mean, Glaive looks like they're in complete control here. They have pressure in almost every lane, and they're just kind of having their way with mercenaries right now.
Yeah, they're not giving them an inch. Like every time they try to rotate over, it's just it seems like Glaive has more members just popping out of the ground and saying, "Oh, you want a 1v1? Nah, it's a 2v1. Nah, it's a 3v1." Making sure they keep each other down. And Barrick, even though he did get that first blood, he's getting muscled out under his tower as they will pop the Herald to go ahead and take that as he's running away. Does manage to get rooted. Super Big Ego is there once again, leaving his mid lane, rotating up the top lane as he has a steady CS lead, which is keeping over Cinnamon Bread, and that allows him to leave the lane and not really feel too bad about it or have any second thoughts. And that will be first tower, first brick going over to Glaive Prime.
Yeah, and I believe they got the second charge there. I couldn't see it. Camera panned away, but we see
Ratchet.
caught out.
Oh, Ratchet very much caught out as it's a 4v2 situation, quickly turning into a 4v. Oh no! CXIC flashes and whiffs the ultimate. That's going to cost him his life potentially as he's running back. Has to burn the heal. The entire four-man squad of mercenaries running for the hills. The ultimate comes out. Sindillion flexing forward, going for the auto. He does pick out ZSYC. Super Big Ego's in the mix too. That is 3 very low health bars over 2 very big health bars, as that will be going down for double kill. Sindillion picking up that is in the pocket. He's ignited, but he doesn't care. He's still picking up a triple kill. This man can't be stopped as Barrick will take out Super Big Ego under the tower and give his life over to the tower as well. Holy crap, that Sindillion play was absolutely crazy. And ZXYC, all off of that whiffed ultimate, that was the go button he was looking for.
Well, that was a 2v5. That was Super Big Ego and Sindillion taking on the entire team of mercenaries, and they come out with a 4-for-1.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. That's definitely not what you want to see on the side of mercenaries, as they just went for a play they thought would be good to get something in return on the other side of the map, but they just get squashed like a fly under a swatter. And Sindillion is absolutely huge, but now he's on the run. No suns to speak of, still has a lot of damage. Rourke is there, goes for the stun, does not quite get it. He's hiding out this as much as he can. Stormbreaker comes down, gives him that bit of health, and that's the shutdown being picked up. ZXYC atoning for his sins in that last team fight.
Yeah, he's able to pick up that shutdown, pick up that bounty off of Sindillion here, but this Ezreal is going to get very scary. He had already completed his Sundera before that fight, so he just got a huge influx of gold after having Sundera completed.
Yeah, you'd have to think the Muramana is next as that tier is charging. Speaking of tiers though, this is Glaive knocking on the tier 2 tower door. Rourke once again being a speedy bear, trying to be everywhere as he can. There's the combo coming out. Toast does make a good landing, and that's going to be a shutdown. Oh, sniped out Sindillion though. Oh, with that ultimate coming out for Ezreal. It's a scrappy fight. It's a 4v2 situation. The bot lane is there present. Super Big Ego joined as well. Glaive definitely just trying to pick up where they can. Still in the lead, but good collapse by Mercenaries and good capitalization by Rourke to single out Zadix and make sure he goes down. No dragon, no jungler in time for this dragon, as Sweaty Toast is going to play blocker for everybody as he hits a blast cone, not able to get over the wall, but will headbutt Super Big Ego towards the wall as there's the perfect execution coming out from Cinnamon Bread. The dragon is going over to Mercenaries, but Sindillion is here, and he does have Sunderer on the back line, though. Stunned up is Diomar, but he is a very strong boy, as Mercenaries have to run for the win, but they are getting taken out one by one. Sindillion picking up another kill, Sindillion picking up another 2 kills. This Ezreal is huge, as Cinnamon Bread has to watch his team leave. Oh, wow. Hold your breath and clench hard. Cinnamon Bread manages to get out alive off of that huge team fight.
Yeah. They do pick up the dragon there, the side of mercenaries, but they get punished again. They get 3 more dead.
3.
Yeah, Sindillion is super fed now, and I touched on a little bit in Champ, so like that the side of mercenaries has this go at you comp, and if they're not able to kill the person they're going at, they will lose these team fights. And now that Ezreal has so much damage and he is getting a huge influx of gold and experience, he has the karma with the Shurelliers to keep him safe. This is pretty much Sindillion's game to lose now.
Absolutely. He is doing everything he can for his team as Toast is getting collapsed on by 4 members of Glaive. They're all here. Flashes over the side. They'll go ahead and take that summoner spell. Glaive, they just want your red buff too, so they're going to grab that as this isn't really a safe one to back in. I don't know if Ratchet sees him. No, he doesn't. So Sweaty Toast will get out after just having to blow the flash. But that red buff, that belongs to Sindillion. That's his all day, every time. Mercenaries definitely showing the big guns out now. 16 to 9. It's just absolute, just masterclass of team fighting synergy on the side of Glaive against Mercenaries.
I also want to point out here, Glaive was able to get 12 out of the 15 plates on the map before this 15-minute mark. That's a
Jesus.
lot of gold.
Oh yeah, that's a big, hefty amount of pocket change incoming into their pockets, and you see it in the item leads, you see it in the item disparities, where it's just Glaive all day. They're just really putting the foot down in this first game, trying to get that quick 3-0, maybe take a nap or get to sleep early. And they're not making it easy for Mercenaries at all, as they are collapsing on this bot tier 2 tower by himself, has no sums to speak of. Going to drop the shroud under the tower. He's going to try and jump out. Shuriken flip. Flawless execution is available. He will use the first charge to get out.
Yeah,
And yeah, he
safety.
managed to survive the 3-man dive.
With this last tier 1 tower going down in favor of Glaive now. They have 3 towers, 2-0 on the map right now. They're coming up on a 7k goal lead at 15 minutes. And we keep touching on how far ahead Sindelian is. We do see this cloth armor in his inventory. He's so far. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
deleted.
The XYC literally gets popped and sent back to the gray screen. The Sindelian 10, 2, and 3 on a rampage. Highest bounty on the board, but also super big ego. 2, 1, and 10. The perfect wingman for this Ezreal. Has we were calling it in Champ Select when they decided to pick the Karma that this is allowing Ratchet to pick up, one of his signature engaged champions, allowing him to have that agency to go or make moves around the map and be that frontline engager that they need. And it's paying off in spades here as Glaive. They're going to take the second Herald that spawns. They have enough time to take it out before Baron spawns. And it's just, they're closing the vice grip that they already have on this game and gonna try to close out this first game within a pretty impressive fashion.
Yeah, the side of Mercenaries, it's really hard to play the game now. Like I mentioned, playing their composition from behind. I don't want to say it's impossible, but it requires some serious misplays from Glaive. And the way Glaive has been looking this entire weekend, I don't really see any misplays happening.
Yeah, the cracks in the armor that Mercenaries is looking for just don't seem to be there, as Glaive is playing a very clean, calculated game. And oh no, Barrett gonna be trying to do this 1v1. He will jump away. But like the item spares we are looking for. Yeah, they have their mythics completed across the board, but Mercenaries, it's the item power spikes that they're missing. The timing power spikes, it's just looking really rough. They have to get the miracle team fight in order for them to get something, as they do catch Ratchet out here, and Rourke is here to assist as well, but he's just gonna flash out to safety. Dredge line to escape as well. The man cannot be killed. He is the Nautilus on a mission. 1, 4, and 5 doesn't even matter. The man is just a bulwark, and as the name suggests, and this dragon here spawning real soon, looking like the rotation coming over to fight for this one. I don't know if Mercenaries can actually take this fight though.
I wonder if Glaive just goes down mid with this Herald that they have. They
We'll
could
have to
just
see.
end the
There's a
game.
deep TP on the backside.
Yeah, TP coming out.
Yeah, looking for the flank, looking for the ultimate to dive in. The pulverize combo is there. There's also the dive in coming from Barracus 2 on the backside. Zanya's is popped. It's a fight on 2 fronts here. Who's winning? Where? ZXYC working the kill onto Zadix. The jungler is down. Super Big Ego down as well. Double kill on the board, and the flash over the chase. Sindelian double kill picking up. It's a 2v3 situation, but who is in the better spot here? Looking for the dragon. Oh, Sindelian gets the steal. Dashing on the hook first they have. That's a triple kill. Give this man going for 1v2 situation. He can do it though. There's the quadra. There's the arcade shift in. Pentakill for Sindelian. Put everybody in his backpack. He's taking this game 1. Everybody, we're going to the bank, cashing in this check as Glaive stomp out the last flame that Mercenaries tried to ignite to get them back into this game.
Yeah, it's the Sindelian show, like we mentioned. He's so far ahead, he can pretty much do whatever he wants. That fight looked a little shaky for a couple seconds there with that beautiful flank TP coming out from Mercenaries, but they weren't able to get onto Sindelian. And even if they did, I don't even think they kill him, because I was touching on a little bit earlier. He is going through that going towards that
judgment. That frozen heart.
Yeah. So he's going to be pretty tanky in terms of armor, and this Wukong wouldn't be able to one-shot him. So I usually don't call. I usually don't call a game before it's over, but at this point, it's going to be very, very difficult for Mercenaries to come back in.
Yeah, that was definitely the Hail Mary play for Mercenaries to try to get back into this game, and it almost worked out. It almost was there, but not only did Sindelian steal the dragon, but picks up a pentakill in the exchange. The man is huge. 15, 2, and 3. Has that Frozen Heart completed, and looks like he's building towards a Last Whisper item. So the man double buffed up, absolutely just completely jacked. I hear the man has an 8 pack. This man is shredded. Sindelian, like it's gonna be so difficult to take him out on the side of Mercenaries because, like we were saying, Barrick is not far ahead on this Wukong, so we can't just one shot anybody with a dive in. ZXYC, yeah, he has a lot of damage with the Serpent's Fang and Dustblade pumping out the DPS, but he can get collapsed on easily as he's not as mobile as Sindelian as he is on this Varus. It's so difficult, looking so bleak. A 10k gold lead for Glaive over Mercenaries, and you have to think Mercenaries right now are just thinking about what are we going to do for game two.
Glaive still has this Herald. That's how early it is in the game.
Yeah, just about to hit the 22-minute mark. They're baroned up, and they have Shelly here as well. Towers are just gonna fold in front of them with this big wave they have. Diomar's looking just to go in. Sweaty Toast on the backside, looking for a flank, but gets caught it out. There's the Chain of Corruption onto Jaddix, though. There's a dive in the background. Cinnamon, flawless execution. The fight is on. It's a 5v4 situation in favor of Mercenaries. Barrick has taken out Jaddix, but the damage, Sindelian kiting back. The man gets another triple kill off the bat. Is he going for back-to-back quadras here? Super Big Ego is here. Rourke is running. ZXYC trying to run for his life, but there's no chance. That is another quadra kill coming out for Sindelian. Can we get back-to-back? Pins his flash forward, gets the tether onto Rourke. He is rooted. Sindelian has the damage. They're looking for it right here. Shielded up under the tower. Sindelian chasing for two pentakills back-to-back. Call him the two-time Dr. Disrespect, who it's Sindelian all day. The Baron is still on 2 members as Super Big Ego and Sindelian gonna put a stamp out to close out this first game here. Glaive, man, just go ahead and end it already, man.
Just his highlight show. He could just make a montage just off this game. I believe he has 23 kills now, 24 kills if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 20 kills, excuse me. 22 and 3 in 23 minutes.
That's like if that's not a tilter or morale breaker, I don't know what is. But all I'm saying is if y'all don't ban this Ezreal in the next game, Mercenaries, I don't know what else to tell y'all because it's just the man cannot be stopped at this point. You saw how much they were literally 4 champions diving onto this man, still not killing him. They did take out 3 of the other team members for sure, but Sindelian just cannot be stopped at this stage in the game. DMR getting caught out, stunned up by 2, Sweaty Toes and Rourke, but there's the rest of the team collapsing. ZXYC is there, doesn't have the Chain of Corruption available. Glaive rotating over to this top side, probably going to look for another triple inhib play like they were against Nightless last night on their game, but the difference is in the composition. There's no hyper scaling Kog'Maw to help them hold on for Mercenaries, you know? There's no real good defense in the Braum to help them get out of this. So right now it's looking like Glaive trying to put the finishing touches on this first game, and Mercenaries, they're just going to have to do their best to regroup and go for game 2 because by all intents and purposes, game 1 is wrapped up and done.
Yeah, I don't think you can come back into this game anymore. That Fed of a Karma with a pocket, not Karma, that Fed of an Ezreal with a pocket Karma, it's impossible.
Yeah, Sweaty Toast is going in. There's the Moonfall. They're all trying to get onto Sindelian. The man's health bar is below half. They're running for him, but the rest of the team has enough damage. Sindelian legendary. 3-man pulverize. Very nice coming out for Sweaty Toast, but it does not matter as this man picks up another double kill for him and a double kill for DMR. Can't let him have all the fun as it's just Rourke against 3. One big Volibear against 3, but he pops immediately at Sindelian, puts him in the ground, and says, all right, enough's enough. Game 1 is done. Put it in the bag. This is Glaive going up 1-0 against Mercenaries.
What a statement Game 1 made by Glaive Esports Prime here. They really are going to be setting the precedent for the remainder of the series. For Mercenaries here, Mercenaries really need to rethink about their pick ban here. I think they did target 4 bans towards the jungler. I believe no, actually that was the other way around. Excuse me.
Yes,
Glaive was banning towards the side of
for Mercenaries,
Mercenaries.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think I had even mentioned it when they after they banned the Samir. I was like, Sindelian plays a pretty good Ezreal. They should be banning that on their 5th ban here. They opted for the Silas ban, but Sandillion definitely made them pay for it.
This man ended the game 23-5 or 23-6, I want to say.
Yeah.
Just absolutely ridiculous. Back-to-back pentakills. They were in control. I don't want to say from minute one because the early first 5 minutes were pretty back and forth, but once he got going, Sindillian really just took the game into his own hands. And once again on this karma, I mean on this Ezreal with super big ego on this karma, they basically 2v5'd the game as Ego was pocketing. He's like, all right, all right, all right. I get it. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. He, as the kids say, knew the assignment. He understood the assignment. He made sure that Sindillion was going to be buffed up enough and strong enough to take any fight, regardless of what happened. Like ZXYC built the Serpent's Fang to pop through all these shields, but it wasn't really even doing that much, to be honest, with this Lethality Varus build. And it's just absolutely crazy that back-to-back performances on this Ezreal for Sindelian, and nobody has really thought, maybe we should ban it. Maybe he's just good at it, you know?
Yep. He definitely deserves the respect ban now. I don't expect this champion to go through. I don't know. Maybe it does go through. Maybe the side of Mercenaries thinks it was the karma that was the problem. Maybe they think it was the Nautilus that was the problem that set him up to get this big of a lead. I'm not too sure, but we will have to find out. We're gonna cut it to a quick break while we get into lobby for game two. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
All right, everybody, right back into it, into the thick of it. Ha ha ha. We are here for game two, Mercenaries versus Glaive. We are into the pro draft, and right off the bat, we do see Mercenaries taking off Gwen and the Karma. First two bans, the Glaive going to keep up the Viego and Lulu bans. They don't want those coming through, and that's understandable. Those are champions are pretty annoying to play against. So looking for the answer coming back from Mercenaries. We're going to see, are they going to take off that Ezreal that really pained them in that last game as Sindillian. I have been informed through the rest of the through post game has changed his name to Pentadillion as the back-to-back pentas were picked up. Will be the Nocturne ban at the end of round one for the
Yeah.
bans.
So it looks like the side of Mercenaries opted to ban the Karma. They think the Karma was what helped empower that Ezreal to the point where he was getting those back-to-back pentas. But we're seeing this Xin Zhao first pick coming out for the side of Mercenaries.
Yeah, the quick, swift insta-lock Zinzao and the hover for the Trundle. Now, I believe we saw this yesterday too. We were questioning it then, but it worked out very well for them. We were questioning the target selection that was going to happen, but that didn't seem to matter as he just kind of beat everybody over the head with the club anyway.
Yeah. Um, that's almost 100% going towards Zadox, the Trundle, and we're going to see DMR most likely on this Renekton again. So it's pretty standard for the side of Glaive in terms of what their compositions usually look like so far.
Yeah, the pickup for Zadex going to be for that Trundle, and once again, DMR running back with the Renekton. He did well on it. He wasn't the star of the show like he was in yesterday's games, but he still facilitated very well and was still the big initiator that he needed to be. And the Lee Sin picking up on the side of Mercenaries, I'm thinking that might go towards Barrack's side or it might go to Cinnamon. We're not so sure, but I feel as if it's going to be one of the solo lane Lee Sins rather than the jungle Lee Sin in this case.
I'm pretty sure this is Rourke on this Xin Zhao here. He did play it last night, so I'm
Right.
expecting. I believe he played it twice yesterday. Once in their series against Urgatum and once in their series against Gang 7. So this should be going towards Rourke.
Ooh, the insta lock of the Samira pickup for ZXYC. That's going to be a fun one to watch. The man definitely has a skill on the champion. She is still very, very good in this meta. Still no bans coming out for ban phase two. You have to wonder, are they going to ban out some marksmen in response, or is Glaive's going to go and pick their marksmen right now to avoid getting banned out? As the Alistar coming in for Ratchet, no Nautilus this time. As the Alistar does a little bit better into Samira because she can always shield away the initiation from Nautilus. But when it's Alistar throwing himself in there to initiate, it does work out a lot better.
Yeah, just to touch on these bans a little bit here, we saw the side of Mercenaries take out this Karma and Nocturne on the blue side here. So far through our entire invitational, through all 13 games, I believe, from yesterday and today, Karma and Nocturne have 100% presence. Pick ban. So those champions are super strong right now in the meta. At least the teams in our invitational are thinking they're super strong. And we see them taken away here, so we're not going to see them in this game, but bands coming through for phase two, Leona Ziggs.
Yeah, the Leona taken off the table. She pairs excellently with Samira. And then once again, the Silas band, keeping that respect band towards Cinnamon, making sure he doesn't get his hands on that champion. And it's the last band coming out from Mercenaries is the Twisted Fate. Okay, they don't want Ego to have that at all. Um, no
Wait,
marksman bands coming out. Oh, Sindelian gets
insta
his swing. So the Swain pickup, it could be for Ego, but it also could be for Sindelian. Um, I'm guessing more towards the side of Sindelian as he has games played on it. Not so much that Ego has. Alistar Swain is just annoying in all sense of the word because it will make sure you don't ever get to move. And then, Sindelian being able to drain tank essentially into any fight that happens and pulls out. ZXYC is going to pick up the Braum for Toast here on his, supportive choice. Maybe would have liked to see another initiator, as with Zinzao and Lee Sin being your only true forms of engage so far in this matchup. But having that good amount of peel as well as the defensive option and the engage option that Braum does offer is very good to have. As the last pickup will be the Victor coming out from Mercenaries. We'll have to see what Glaive's going to respond to the Zoe hover. Is that going through?
I was about to say the side of Glaive needs a little bit of range here. I could see the Zoe working because right now they've got three melees in the really, really short range of Swain, but we see the Echo hover super strong into the Victor, and I wonder if Ego is just going to ego this pick here and just take it.
We're looking to see if he is going to insta lock that in, and it
Locked
is
in.
going to get locked in. Yeah, so another melee centric composition from both sides. This time with the short air range Samira, and then the shorter range on Swain. It's gonna, like these teams aren't looking to siege. These teams are looking to fight. They're looking to scrap. They're looking to take each other out before they even go on to any objectives. And right now, Glaive has a very frightening composition, looking all across the board, and it's just going to be a matter of how they're going to be able to pilot these fights. We're talking about the Echo being a pretty good counter into the Victor. Swain honestly can make Samira's life pretty miserable in this lane matchup, especially with the Alistar as well. It's looking pretty dicey for Mercenaries here in this draft, but maybe they can pull something out of their bag of tricks and pull off the victory to tie the series up 1-1. But Glaive's composition right now is going to make that very hard for them.
Yeah. So this is most likely going to be the Sindelian Swain, like you mentioned. This Swain and Alistar, a very impressive lane. Really rose to provision. I want to say season 8, season 9, when we saw a lot of mages go towards the bot lane when ADC was really in a weird spot. And ever since then, we've seen these slow, like little bit of trinkles of these pocket picks coming out with this Swain marksman in the marksman position. So I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but you said Sindelian has some games on it, so he definitely will be proficient at the champion.
Yeah, just judging by the GG, he's sitting at a pretty 77% win rate.
That's
And
pretty decent.
Yeah, so it's kind of scary for him to whip that out here in the finals. He's been saving it all tournament long, and he said, "You know what? We're in a comfortable enough spot. We can do this. Let's throw that out." So yes, the Alistar Swain lane, if you've never played against it, is just like absolutely annoying if you're shorter range AD carry, like Samira is. But unlike some of the other AD carries, Samira does have options with the wild dash and the shield coming around to stay alive in these fights, but Alistar is there to check that, to really make that difficult. So it's going to be up to Braum, piloted by Toast, to intercept the initiation from uh, Ratchet on this Alistar. Otherwise, ZXYC is not going to get the Samir off the ground.
Yeah, the side of Mercenaries, if they get ahead, they snowball super hard with
Yeah.
everybody, all their champions. So they're going to really want to look proactive in this early game, try to get some maybe not unorthodox jungle pathing to get some of these early ganks out, and try to get these lanes a little bit ahead. Because if Xin Zhao, if Lee Sin, if Samira get a kill or two on their belt in this early game, they can significantly snowball into the mid to late game and really help Mercenaries bring back the series.
Yeah, and it's really going to be up to Rourke to get the ball going, as he has a pretty good like play win rate on the Zinzao of his as well. He did play it yesterday, showed very good signs of life on it. So it's really snowballing this composition, right? We were talking about it for Mercenaries, and I don't want to say like I'm scared for them that they might be tilted from the last game. I really hope they got a good mental reset and are able to bounce back here in this game too. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty easy 2-0 in the series so far for Glaive.
Mhm. Um, let's see here. Top lane matchups. Lee Sin versus Renekton.
Renekton.
Renekton's gonna be favorite early. I think once Lee Sin is able to get a couple of points into his E, have that Iron Whip to help him wave clear, then he'll start to have a little bit of advantage in some of the shorter trades. But definitely for the longer trades, with that Fury stacked up, Renekton should be favored.
Yeah, it's always scary going up against a Lee Sin because honestly, before he was a jungler, people did see him in solo lanes. And he was just like that duelist that smacked you around like level 3 because his abilities. Because remember, he's playing with basically six abilities once he hits level 3, with all of his other abilities having an extra component to them. And Renekton, yes, the Fury passive will help him out a lot, but have to think of the passive along with the lifesteal and the shields that Lee Sin will be able to get. If his and we'll have to see how good Barrick's ward hopping skills are in this matchup too, because like we were talking about the initiation factor for mercenaries, and it's just not as strong as the side of Glaive is like just you see they have the Echo to dive in, they have the Renekton to dive in, they have the Alistar to dive in, they have Swain on the back to pull people in and slow. It's just crazy. Whereas outside of Mercenaries, you're kind of having to rely on Rourke and Barrett to jump in, and you're going to want your top laner to be pretty healthy to be able to take up a few hits before he goes in, gets that nasty insect or does a flash kick of any type, and to start the fights off, to start these battles going.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of pick potential, like you mentioned, with that insect potential. Braum passive gets tagged on somebody, they get instantly stunned, and there's a lot of gap closer that's available for the side of mercenaries. But at the same time, there's a lot of tools on the side of Glaive to to kind of disengage. We have that pillar coming out from Trundle. We have Echo does have access to that Chrono Break at post level 6, so if he does get caught out, he'll have that get out of jail free card. And Swain and Alistar, his in their own right, can self-sustain and peel through team fights. We're gonna definitely need Swain to get that hourglass to be able to make significant effective use of his ultimate. But once he gets that, I think these team fights are going to be heavily favored towards Glaive. Their composition and their draft is really, really strong, specifically against the draft mercenaries.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, talking about the disengage, having the Alistar who also can, use his abilities defensively as well as offensively. But also speaking of ego on this Echo with the parallel convergence, you don't really want to run into that because he can just dash right back in with the phase dive and just get a massive multi-man stun up. Like, can you imagine? I'm just giving you the picture here, a perfect timing on you can get the three-man pulverize coming in from Ratchet, and then the parallel convergence coming in from Super Big Ego on top of, whatever Sindillion wants to throw out with DMR jumping in. Like, it's just going to be a complete wipe. We're talking about the dashes that Mercenaries has, but three out of the four of them are, well, actually, yeah, all four of them are targeted dashes. They have to target something to dash in. It's not just like a free skill shot dash for them to get in and out.
Yep.
So they can get trapped pretty easily by Glaive if they layer their zones right, if they layer their CC right.
Yeah. Um, I think we've pretty much touched on how we're predicting a lot of these team fights are going to go. So we're going to cut on a quick break here while we wait for spectator delay to end, and we will be back for game two of these finals for the Aegis Esports Invitational.
Alrighty, here we go. Game two, Mercenaries versus Glaive. It's the finals, baby. Can Mercenaries bounce it back, or will Glaive take us to match point 2-0?
I mean, the draft's showing one thing. We'll see if Mercenaries is able to bring it back, but we see a five-man stack
Ooh,
coming
they
out for
stacking.
Mercenaries. Yeah, they're going straight up to this top lane.
Oh yeah, they stacking five. You know, you have the Braum advantage, and also ZXYC took the cleanse this time. I like that, as there is so many different forms of CC that they do have available on Glaive. He wants to be as safe as possible. Diomar might have spotted this out. I do see some pings. They are rotating here over to this top bush, looking for Krugs. Oh man, this is spicy. Diomar will be able to spot them out. Yeah, right here. As he's going to rotate down. Now, the rest of the team has been spotted, so they're just going to drop the ward in, muscle in, push him off. Yeah, Glaive does not want to opt into this level 1 fight, as it'd be a little bit foolish for them to try and really fight that out. They're going to get some deep ward vision in, as everybody's going to go back. But there is, you see that red ward from Glaive over by the Raptors side of Mercenaries. So they will have knowledge of that start, um, as the XYC and Sweaty Toes will be walking straight through that to their bot lane.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people don't do. When you see five people invading into one side of your jungle and you see them on a ward and your team is safe, make sure you go into the opposite side of the map and take that opportunity to get some deep vision like Ratchet did there. Getting a deep ward like that is very valuable in terms of jungle knowledge, especially in the early game.
Yeah, going to be able to take that out as Sweaty Toes. Early aggression is get pulverized in. We'll land some shots onto Ratchet. Brown passive is procced. That's heavy damage coming out. He'll just heal up from the have to take some biscuits, take some potions, etc. Sweaty ZXYC, he can heal up off of that no problem. As in the mid lane, yeah, Echo versus Victor. You see how it goes. The Echo with that electrocute does have that good early game aggression,
Oh,
level 2 off the passive, slowed to oblivion. Super big ego. He's going to be playing comfortably aggressive in this lane here. As Sindillion, he's showing us his prowess. He's pulling out this pocket pick Swain of his. It's definitely going to work out in spades.
yeah, this pressure that's being provided by Super Big Ego onto Cinnamon Bread is crazy. He's just going in
Oh,
on
going right in.
City
He's going
Ignite.
right in. Ooh, he doesn't have Ignite. He took
Does
the
not have
flash
Ignite.
teleport this time.
Yeah.
Look at that electrocute proc, as Cinnamon Bread did have to blow his flash. Super Big Ego did not blow his flash. So that is the summoner advantage there that he's looking for. Cinnamon Bread's going to have to back, TP into lane, as DMR doing the 1v1 for Barrick. In the jungle, though, Rourke is definitely not going to want to take this trade, as the flash is over there. Jadek's not taking the flash to follow. Looks like they're rotating over. They're going for a collapse here, as ZXYC and Sweaty Toast going to be walking backwards. Sweaty Toast walking forwards, put some more passive stacks on there to dissuade any sort of dive coming in. As, yeah, they're just going to go their separate waves. Really close first bloods all around. Glaive, though, with the advantage.
Yeah. Um, so far, things are looking good for Glaive. Their mid lane is down a little bit CS, but you can already tell the how comfortable Ego is on this Echo, just diving in with his E on cooldown repeatedly, burning the flash from Cinnamon Bread here, burning the TP from Cinnamon Bread here. And the same thing happened in the jungle. Zadox was able to find Rorik in the jungle there, map out his pathing because of that ward that was placed by Ratchet, and have the flash burn. We see it engage in the bot lane.
Yeah, the Nevermore into the Pulverize. Ignite is ticking down. ZXYC flashes out, but it's too stunned too late, as that will be first blood going over to Ratchet. In response, so Rourke will get a kill onto Ego, as a collapse is there from Burke. Lands the resonating strike. Going back in, Diomar has a flash. Ward's coming out. No ward jump available for Burke. Barrick not going to be able to, or not opting into flash into that. Quick 1-for-1 return on the day. Glaive still getting that first blood gold, as Glaive kind of looking for this dive. As Civilian lands a never move, and it's just Sweaty Toast. It's just Sweaty Toast. He does pulverize him. He does opt to burn and flash.
Blade.
The auto attacks will be there. Oh, he barely survives with the passive healing from Swain. Oh, Sandillion, that's insane. Criminal getting away from that. The Arctic
Both of
General
them.
himself.
Look at Alistar's health too.
That's crazy. Ratchet and Sandillion getting away with the skin of their teeth, blinking danger health bars. Glaive,
Ratchet's
that's
not done.
ridiculous. He's not done. He's going back in. A super big ego will take out Rourke, who tried to come in for the gang. Zadix came back and got him. There's the pulverize combo, but no, he will take the tower shot and the extra auto as Cinnamon Red will get the kill. But he opted to walk forward instead of backwards. Can Cinnamon be there to help him out? No, Sweaty Toast will be there trying to get the kill onto Ego, but that red buff is definitely going to keep him alive as Toast trying to opt in for this fight. Wait a minute! He's got tower rage. There's no level 6 yet. There's no ultimate available, and that's a return kill coming back for Sweaty Toast.
Yeah, the side of Mercenaries going swing for swing in this early game of game 2.
This cinnamon sweaty toasty bread combination working out in the favor somehow, managing to get the kills back and swinging, keeping this deficit as low as they possibly can. Mercenaries, we wanted a scrappy game, but man, not even 6 minutes and we already got 7 kills on the board.
You know my moniker. Kill a minute.
Kill a minute, baby. As the good double never move landing from Sandillion. Sweaty Toast never went back to base. He's low on health. He's going to be a prime target as there is a double pulverize coming in. Sandillion going to claim that kill. And landing these never moves. The cleanse is burned from ZXYC. Managed to have that up in time. But man, that might have been a little bit of hubris from Sweaty Toast not backing once he got that kill onto Ego in lane. And that's a red buff transfer complete. Sandillion with that burning on his side.
Picking up where he left off in game 1, already 2-0-1 on this.
The action's not stopping. When becomes lightning in the dodge. Rourke, you can't be doing that. It's Sandillion on a killing spree. It's
my God.
For a double. Oh, the 1v1 in the top lane. Barrick does take out Diomar, but holy cow, across the map, these teams cannot keep their teeth off of each other as this man is already 4-0-1. Sandillion showing us this pocket pick Swain here in game 2. It's absolutely phenomenal. 4-0-1 before 7 minutes. That could, the man already has a 400 gold bounty. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like I said right before that double kill happened. He's picking off where he left off in game 1. He's already on his way towards this Leandries. Once that Leandries is finished, he's going to go towards the Zonias and he's going to become unkillable. We thought the Ezreal was unkillable. Wait till you see a Fed Swain.
Yeah, Fed Swain is actually like one of the biggest banes of my existence. He will not die. He will just drain tank you to oblivion, and you'll be feeling it in your grandchildren's grandkids. And like, it's absolutely absurd. But we have to see if Mercenaries can regain some sort of control. As no, that's 3 men in the mid lane. Cinnamon Bread does have his flash, but there's no escape from the 3-man bounce house. As Zadix will claim that kill, and Barrick going for the 1v1 against Diomar. I'm telling you, this Lee Sin dueling power is just so strong. Misses the resonating strike though. It's just
like I had mentioned. Oh, we're gonna see the bottle. The Ratchet and
they just rotated up. All 3 of them, they're all here. Going for the pulverize. Gets the ultimate coming off. Rourke, oh, the dive back in. But the Call of Meek, oh, it's not enough. It will be in the end as he does get the Fury stacks off. Can Rourke get another kill? They're waiting out the stun. The double stun comes in, and that's a double kill for Diomar as well. 10 minutes, and we have 15 kills on the board. 3,000 gold leaf for Glaive. They are just putting the pedal to the floor.
Yeah. They're really just trying to accelerate this game here, game 2 here. We see Sandillion. He's very versatile. He can play aggro. He can play safe. And as I say that, he's
going to Wild Rush. The pass is coming in. Blade Dance, knock away. Misses the Never Move. That ultimate is extremely powerful. Look how much life he's gaining back from that. A Sweaty Toast. He walked up to try and get something off of that. Super low, manages to survive, but Sandillion is way higher on the health pool than both the bot laners of Mercenaries combined, and they're just going to walk away with their tail between their legs as they cannot take that fight yet.
Yeah, and we see the Swain in full effect, like we mentioned, ultimate, being able to withstand the full engage coming out from the bot lane of Mercenaries, and just laughing at it essentially.
Yeah. Key to note, both ZXYC and Sweaty Toast weren't level 6 in that exchange. The Glacial Fissure nor the Inferno Trigger were available for that fight. That might have turned something. But speaking of, ZXYC is by himself. There's the Ignite Burn, Never Move, Blades Bladestorm going out, or Bladestorm going out, but Ratchet, he's going to get that kill for himself. Whether it be whether it be Nautilus, whether it be Alistar, Ratchet's going to get him some kills as a support. He does not care. And it's just Glaive just absolutely flexing all over Mercenaries right now as they try to get something back by going for this Herald.
Yeah, Mercenaries is trying to get something on the other side of the map, but so far the bot lane is struggling. I don't even see the bot lane. There's shutdowns, three lanes here for the side of Glaive. Mercenaries needs to try to get some of this gold back. Otherwise, this game two is going to slip
10
away
minute
from.
Leandries. Oh my god.
Uh,
Ivar, 10-minute Leandries. It's there. So
he
yeah.
has to stopwatch. Oh no.
Yeah, Sindillion is just set up to succeed in this game too, whereas Mercenaries are looking for an answer, looking for something to do. They did manage to pick up that Herald uncontested. We'll have to see. We'll be looking to see where they're going to put that down at. As you know, you would think to put it into Barrick, as he does have a pretty good lead right now up against Diomar. Yeah, the kill deaths are pretty even. Oh no, ZXYC. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, walking right past the Fnatic Death Bush. Yeah, the man's dead. Does
Oh,
Wild Rush to get out. Not going to be fast enough. The stun is there. Lockdown Zadix will claim that kill. ZXYC, man, that's just a little bit of an error on his part. As Glaive, they're just bullying the man at this point. Speaking of bullying, two in the top lane. Super Big Ego will get the shutdown onto Barrick as Rourke will get the counter shutdown for himself. That's gold in his pocket. When becomes lightning does miss as Diomar. Dominance is off the table. He's just going to back while the rest of Glaive is going to be knocking on this bot tier 2 tower.
yeah.
I'm not really sure what Mercenaries can do to respond to all of this.
We keep harping on it, but this bot lane for the side of Glaive they're shining light right now.
Oh man.
TP coming out.
They're deciding, yes, the TP on the backline, good. Glacial Fissure coming out, keeping them slowed. Cinnamon Bread wants to help out. The laser's coming down. The gravity field is there. Zadix is stunned up, but the passive and the smite will take him out as Sindillion has now popped the ultimate. ZXYC not even a factor in this fight. It's a 4v2 situation. Now Barrett gonna get taken down as well. DMR on a killing spree. Cinnamon Bread under the tower, but will get stunned up by the Never Move and knocked up multiple ways from Sunday, and Diomar claiming 2 for himself. Master emote flexing, showing off as Sindillion on this signature Swain. The man is just not going to be stopped here, as the rest of Glaive just absolutely putting their foot down in this game too. Diomar finds Rourke again. The man just came back up. Give him a break. A super big ego over the side. Proto Belt in. Oh my goodness. Is the dragon a spawn? Mercenaries can't even respond to can't even react to it getting taken, as they're just trying to clear out what they can in mid lane.
Yeah, at this point, Glaive is just kind of having their way and having fun with Mercenaries. Kind of can do whatever they want on the map.
Absolutely.
It's super one-sided.
Yeah, it's pretty one-sided at the moment. Mercenaries might as well be thinking of the game 3. A super big ego over the side. Rourke forced to burn the ultimate just to stay alive, and that parallel convergence is down. This is a pretty split fight on both sides, but Glaive definitely the item and man advantage. Yeah, super big ego will claim that kill for himself, finishing what he started. Not onto Rourke, but onto Cinnamon Bread. He will get something. They're just absolutely bullying everybody right now. Barrick gonna go for Sindillion. The ultimate is still available. Barrick pops gets the Conqueror procced, but the damage from that Sorcerer Shoes, Leandry's empowered Sindillion misses the Sonic Wave. Rourke is here too. The ultimate is down from Sindillion after the duration goes down to Demonic Ascension no more. But Ratchet, running in unafraid, gets the Pulverize. There's the Resonating Strike after the Sonic Wave. Looking for that kick. The Dragon's Kick there. The ultimate there. Shut down. Going over to Rourke. 2v2 turns into a 2v3 situation as Sweaty Toast makes all the difference in the world. A shutdown number 2 going to ZXYC, and Rourke and Barrick managed to survive long enough for 2 kills to come out, but on the rest of the map, Glaive responding accordingly, gonna take some towers for themselves.
Yeah, signs of life coming out from Mercenaries, being able to pick up those 2 shutdowns. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. They need to start picking up these bounties from the side of Glaive, slowly clawing their way back into this gold lead, getting some of their items completed. We do see the double Goy Drinkers coming through now for the side of the top and jungle for Mercenaries. Shield Bow completed for Samira here, and DMR is just sitting on this ward. He has no idea.
Yeah,
Gonna get
he does
baited.
not know. He's gonna get baited. Oh, Rourke, you can't miss those. Missed the wind becomes lightning, does get the charge in. The knockup is there after 3 hits. Cinnamon Bread. DMR does pop the Call of the Meek over the side. Super Big Ego parallel converts it into the Rocket Belt. Does get him a kill on the backside. Sweaty Toast will come to shut down onto DMR. The ultimate comes back from Super Big Ego. He's going to jump over the wall. That's an Echo. Those are hard to stop and hard to catch onto. But yeah, that could have been so much cleaner play from Mercenaries. The shutdown also going over to Sweaty Toast on support, not necessarily the man you wanted to get on, but this shutdown does get taken off the board.
Yeah, sticky situations that are turned into a 1-for-1 for the side of for Glaive. It looked like it was just going to be a free kill going over to Mercenaries.
Barrick, trying to get that 1v1, but that Demonic Ascension, that extra burn from the Leandries. Dios mío, that health burn. The Gore Drinker helping him out stay alive for just a little bit. Now Barrick has waited out the Demonic Ascension, going to try and lifesteal off the minions, but Sindelian does enough damage. Oh, looking for the kick. He does get the insect, and come on, Rourke, that's 2 in a row. He has missed the wind become lightning, but that charge will allow him to get the kill anyway. Barrick on this Lee Sin. We were talking about him in game 1 on the Wukong not having as much of an impact, but this Lee Sin is definitely paying up dividends for Mercenaries and for Barrick saving face. We'll have to see if he can claw and help them claw and climb back into this game and even up the score. 10 kills to 19, 2 dragons to 0, 2 towers to 0, and Glaive is still firmly in control of this game.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, it's looking a little bit better for Mercenaries. They're still significantly behind, don't get me wrong. But at least now they're looking proactive with their champions, picking up kills on the map. If you're trading kill for kill, it's still fine because you're still picking up gold, helping you to get to your item spikes. But on the contrary, Glaive keeps picking up these towers. Yeah. Mid tower has fallen, bot tower has fallen, top is super weak. They're picking up this Herald. Probably going to hold on to this Herald for this dragon, probably drop it mid lane and look to pick up the 3rd dragon and put themselves on the soul point.
Right, yeah, gonna look to pick up something. Super Big Ego gonna 1v1 in Cinnamon Bread, but Rourke is not far behind, being able to stay and shadow his teammates as the Chaos Storm is down, the Gravity Field is there. Super Big Ego does have the ult available. You do have to watch where that's gonna land so you can teleport back to it. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, ZXYC, you don't want to be there. Blade Flare is gonna be there as well. Try to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but Shelly is popped in mid. 3-man strong, 4 if you want to count the Shell. Glaive is knocking on the doors of Mercenaries, and you have to look at the itemization. You have to think about it this way. They have literally all 5 champions on Glaive have innate self-healing, and not a single form of healing reduction is on the side of Mercenaries, and that might help them in these fights, as they do get the multiple-man knock-up from Sweaty Toast, but, you know, they don't have the Grievous Wounds there to cut down on the healing to make things that much easier for them in these fights, and that might be the big decider when it does come to these team fights later on, if they even get that far into the game.
Yeah, they just don't have the resources to be able to commit to buying heal cut so far.
The teleport is committed.
Teleport comes in from the top lane here.
Oh, look at the channel. Going for the 3-man knockup. Oh my god, Ratchet, you're amazing. Ultimate's coming down on the back line. Here's a fight. Barrick is trying to get the kick on. He does get the shutdown. Rourke does, rather, and he is still alive. That Lee Sin lifesteal, man. ZXYC got the resets. There's the Inferno trigger. He gets the double kill for himself. That's 2 kills. Super Big Ego on a killing spree. It is a 2v3 situation. Everybody's split up. DMR's full health and ready to rock. ZXYC has full mana. Rourke can lifesteal a lot of this. He has the red buff, does dive to the dragon to get farther away. They are on the chase. ZXYC gonna try and poke down DMR while he can. When Becomes Lightning does land, he's dumping onto him. There's the Call the Meek, there's the stun up. Super Big Ego flashes in, gets the rampage, absolutely deleted with the rocket belt coming in as he goes back into the back line, does Rourke with the ultimate pop, and that's a double kill coming in, and that is not Super Big Ego going down, living with the skin of his teeth, red buff on, do a dance, look at the moves. That man is unkillable as Glaive clean up the fight.
Yep, and 2v3 in that tail end of that fight there, and perfectly executed from DMR and Ego here, going in and out together, waiting for the side of Mercenaries to commit, and the moment they do, they jump on it together, and they're able to both survive through the healing and pick up that triple kill for Ego.
Yeah, and they're going to get the dragon off of this, and once again, that healing has to be brought into the forefront of the conversation. You mean to tell me you're fighting against a 5-man stack that all has healing properties, and none of you are going to be building prioritizing building Grievous ones first. Like you have the Leandries, yes, cool. That's the extra damage at the time with the burn, but that's only going to be on one member of your team. It's these little things that are really giving Glaive the edge in the fight, because that was a very close fight. You would have to think if there was some form of them to keep off as much healing through all of that as they could, with their sort of properties, like it could have gone another way. But Glaive up 12 kills in this matchup. Now they have 3 dragons and 5 towers. Mercenaries still don't have a single tower to their name on this map. These team fights are getting farther and farther apart in proximity to the health. It's just like, what is Mercenaries going to have to do to be able to bring this back? As Baron is spawning in 3 seconds, and I think it might just be a 20-minute Baron.
Yeah, they're gonna start it up right on spawn here, and they have the damage for it. That double, not double, excuse me. The Leandry's doing that max health burn damage, like you mentioned, from Sindelian here. We see a 10 stat Mage Eyes for Super Big Ego, and it's just deleted. It took them 16 seconds to kill that Baron at
That's
20
crazy.
minutes.
Yeah, and Mercenaries, they might have had a clue. They did ward into like the last few seconds of it, but they had to have had some sort of idea that they were coming down anyway, or going down on the Baron anyway, as they will manage to get one tower in the bot lane as Barrick is really trying to put on his carry shoes with this Lee Sin and get as much back from Mercenaries as they can. But this goalie is ever so expanding, and it's looking very grim here for Mercenaries in this game too.
Yeah. Um, I don't want to say it, but at what point do you start saving your mental and looking towards the next game?
You know, that is always a question, and it's looking at the vision around the map. You don't even see any wards on the side of Mercenaries down for real.
But
Vision, and there's a fight getting caught out from Warwick. He does pop the ultimate, keep him alive a little bit longer. There's his shield coming out as ZXYC jumping in the backline, gets the Inferno trigger out, but gets burned down immediately. The shield bow didn't help at all, as this could just be the last fight right here, as Glaive just completely dropping the sword on the neck of Mercenaries and closing out this game 2 in a more dominant fashion than the first game. The first game was a good fight, but this second game was absolutely miles apart in terms of team fighting ability. And Glaive, they're snowballing all the way to the victory. One more game, and this series is wrapped up and done. Mercenaries down 0-2 to Glaive as we go to game 3.
yeah, 21-minute game there coming out from Glaive Esports Prime, looking phenomenal in that game too. There, playing a little bit of an unorthodox comp there with that bot lane, that Sway and Alistar, but they're they're showing it works. Their bot lane has been superior throughout the entire series, and something significantly needs to change from the side of Mercenaries, so we might be in store for a quick 3-0.
Yeah, unorthodox bot lane indeed, but the 77% win rate, man, it does not lie. It's just Syndillion things, I guess you can say. It's just Syndillion things all around, because the man, put him on whatever champ, he's gonna carry, he's gonna play remarkably. He's just so good working with the synergy with Ratchet on this Alistar, who also once again had an amazing game on another initiator. And yeah, we're trying to look for answers for what possibly Mercenaries could do to get themselves back into this game. What could they possibly fix or change in the break that we have game plan wise? Because, like, you know, they don't really have the staff that Glaive has, you know, with the two coaches and they're talking to them, going over everything. You know, Glaive does not really have anything to worry about. They have all the chips in their pocket, you know, all the cards in their hand, and it's really their series to lose. Might we see a reverse sweep? They're always possible. Remember, the odds are low, but never zero.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we're going to go to another break, and when we get back, we're going to get in the draft for this game 3 deciding game between Glaive Prime and Mercenaries. All right. Game 3, we're directly into draft. Okay, Ivar, this could be it. Are we on the verge of a reverse sweep from Mercenaries? Have they hit their stride? Are they hulking up, brother? Or is this just going to be Glaive putting them in the bin and sending us home early?
I want to say they have a chance, but so far in game one and game two, Glaive have made their statement and they've pretty much have had control this entire series. I don't know if it's possible for Mercenaries to come back. I mean, they keep adapting their draft. I do like the Renekton ban here coming out, targeting towards DMR here, but it's same pick from last game. They pick up the Xin Zhao for Rorik, and in response, we have the same pick for Zadux. We have that Trundle being locked in.
Yeah, just back at it again with the Trundle Zinzao matchup, and also keeping the trend of banning Karma and Nocturne. We don't want to see those. The bans have not changed for Glaive. They feel like they don't need to. There's really no reason for them to even change up their strategies. As Oh, Ego's going to pick up the Lucian. As you know, we did see him on that yesterday. We saw both sides of the Lucian Victor matchup, both of which Ego got the better of, and they're going to pick back up the Akali for Cinnamon, I believe. And yeah, get Barrick back on this Lee Sin. I will say the two shining points of Mercenaries draft last game were Barrick and Rourke on this Lee Sin Zinzao combo, being able to dive in and disrupt as much as possible. We'll have to see how Mercenaries want to change the rest of the draft to adapt to that.
I think Mercenaries needs to stabilize bot. If bot can stabilize here, and their top side is winning, are we gonna see the Ziggs bottom?
Oh no.
It's locked. Ziggs bot. I'm gonna say it. That's Sindelian Zig.
Yeah.
Ziggs.
It's I'm calling it right now. Sindelian is gonna play Ziggs, and we're all gonna cry because we're not as good Ziggs players as he is. Um, Quite the pickup, and
Oh
it's just
man.
it's just such a problem in the meta right now with a lot of these marksmen picking up Ziggs again because
Just just think about it. Glaive has had such phenomenal macro these last two games. I don't think Mercenaries even got a tower. They might have gotten one or two, but now their own towers are gonna have 27% less HP because Ziggs is on the map.
yeah, it's just you hate to see it. Glaive really looking like they're trying to put the all right, let's wrap this up. We have dinner plans game on with this composition, and the next two bans coming out, banning off the Thresh from Ratchet. They don't want him to grab onto that. Thresh with Ziggs offers a lot of safety, a good safety net for him, as well as the initiation versatility. And yeah, also banning off the Nautilus for him as well. They don't want Ratchet to get his hookers. They don't want him to be making plays around the map. Probably going to default him back onto the Alistar that he normally plays, or the Leona, or the Rel. Those engaged champions that he still pilots. Yeah, he's cycling through them. As we looking at the Rel hover, haven't seen the Iron Maiden in
Rel Ziggs.
play a lot
Rel
recently.
Ziggs sounds scary.
It's still pretty scary, yeah. As they're gonna lock in the Silas
Top lane.
top lane Silas.
Unless it's a Kali top lane.
Uh, Not exactly sure where that Silas could be going. As yeah, insta lock for the Tristana for Mercenaries. That's a champion you would like to see.
Wait a minute. What if it's DMR on this Lucian?
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, just you know what? Why not give him whatever he wants to do? Let him have a field
I
day.
I
The
doubt
other
it.
option, yeah, I doubt it, but the other option is giving Ratchet the Ziggs and having another marksman such as Senna played for Zendilion. That's a combination that has been seen a little bit of play. The hyperscaling of a Senna combined with the destructive ability and disruption ability of Ziggs. Um, we're not exactly positive on where it could be. They'll have to show us in a moment as the hover for Mercenaries is a Bard, and yeah, it's an insta-lock, a Bard. Okay, so Tristana Bard will be the bot lane coming out here for Mercenaries as the last pick for Glaive is
It's
looking
gonna be
like
that Rel Alistar.
I
One of the
think,
two
yeah,
rounds out their comp. I'm gonna take my guess here. Silas top, Trundle jungle, Lucian mid, Ziggs ADC with this engaged support.
yeah, I would see something like that. As yeah, they're just waiting down the time. Give him his Alistar back. Okay, so yeah, Ratchet back on the Alistar duty, no problem there, as he is one to do. Um, very scary composition from Glaive because, like, once again, snowballing composition are the name of the game. It's it's just textbook, like Mercenaries. Once they get going, the combination of Bard Tristan in the bot lane does open up the possibility of Toast being able to roam around more and have Tristana be a little bit safer in these exchanges where she, could get dove. She does have the rocket jump available to get out, Buster shot people away, so that gives her a little bit more agency in these fights to not just get 100 to 0 on her tower and in these team fights. But it's still pretty scary with that Silas being piloted by Diomar. That's another carry champion for him to play this game, this series rather, and it's pretty scary one at that if he can get going.
Yeah. We're gonna see here with this inclined draft to see exactly where these Glaive picks are going. The side of Mercenaries is pretty standard in what they picked. The Lee Sin top, the Xin Zhao jungle. We're going to see Cinnamon Bread on that Akali, and then the Tristana Bard bot lane.
Right, and it's if you're Mercenaries in this draft, what are you looking to in this game? What are you looking to do? How are you looking to perform?
Um, I think stabilizing bot lane is very important. If bot lane can go even and not give Sindelian such a big lead, and their topside wins, like Mercenaries topside wins, like they did in game two, the game will be a lot closer. The problem is, we saw Barrack on this Lee Sin, we saw Rorik on this Inzao get a couple of kills and get a little bit of a CS lead from the top side of the map. But on the bottom, we're seeing Sindelian 4-0, 5-0 on these marksman picks, getting his mythic at 10 minutes, so it doesn't matter.
Right, yeah, it's just that snowball ability is there, and it might actually be Silas Jungle. We haven't seen that in a hot minute, but it's definitely still viable, I believe. They didn't, nerf him that much into the ground. You just it could be the thing that's picking up. We could see Zadix on the Silas and Diomar on the Trundle. Uh, yeah,
I'm
and this
skeptical.
right. I'm skeptical about it too. But the pick order, if it's actually how it's supposed to be going, that could be the switcheroo they're pulling on us here.
Technically, they have till 20 seconds left after all the picks are locked into swap here.
Yeah,
Uh, but I think at this level, after you do a third-party draft, everybody usually picks their own champion here. So I don't really expect any swapping coming out. The stylish jungle is interesting for sure. Something. Oh, oh,
wait. Okay. Now we were bamboozled. All right, cool. There it is. There's the pick order we were thinking of. The
oh!
Lucian top. Okay.
No,
See,
Mercenaries switched to their side too.
oh, they did switch there. Oh, yes. Final game, potentially for Mercenaries here, and they're putting all the eggs in the basket. They're having Cinnamon on the Lee Sin, and
They switched back exactly at
we did
20
switch back
seconds.
again. Okay, so yeah, it is going to be Ego on his Lucian again, and Diomar on the Silas, but it will be Barrack piloting the Akali and Cinnamon Bread on the Lee Sin. Difference from last game. Gonna have to see how both of these teams pilot it as we're gonna get loaded into this game three here, the deciding game potentially for Mercenaries, or can they bring us, for that next all coveted fourth game and eventual fifth game, the reverse sweep. Always a possibility, but we're gonna let everybody get loaded in the game and get that spectator delay out of the way. And we'll send it to a quick break, and we will definitely be back for this exciting game three. All right, everybody, here we are. Game three. Glaive Prime versus Mercenaries, the deciding game potentially for Mercenaries in this grand final series here at the Aegis Invitational. And man, I'm getting goosebumps because this is going to be a scrappy game, and this one is going to be definitely fun to watch.
Yeah. We saw a little bit of shenanigans with the swaps there exactly at 20 seconds. But it's looking like it's going to be Barrack on this Akali with the Ignite in the top lane going into DMR. I think that's actually a better matchup for Silas post 6. I think if Silas has access to that perfect execution, he does do a little bit better, but it remains to be seen, right? Really depends on how Barrack plays this matchup out. Most importantly, Barrack has access to this Ignite, which DMR does not, so it does have that advantage. In the mid lane, I expect Lee Sin to get chunked out quite a bit early on by the solution because of the range advantage. Um, but besides that, I think the big thing I'm personally excited for is Sindelian Ziggs.
Yeah, Cendillion on the Ziggs. So now he showed us his Ezreal, he showed us his Swain, now he's showing us his Ziggs. Oh man, it's always a treat to see a marksman that can play, the multiple styles, not just an AD carry. He can show that he can play these artillery-esque mages as well, and it's really going to be Glaive pushing the tempo this entire game because, like we were talking about, whenever you play against the Ziggs, your enemy towers have basically 27% less health. So having to see how they're going to manage Sindelian, are they going to, is Mercenaries going to put some focus towards him, or they're going to let him be left alone to his own devices?
Yeah. We do see that early level 2 coming out for excuse me, for Ego in the mid lane getting a good trade. Bot lane's getting pushed in a little bit for Glaive here. Level 2 is coming out for the side of Mercenaries. But so far everything's standard as we've expected. Alistar level 1 really can't do anything against a Bard.
Yeah, it's not gonna be anything for him to get in. Bard's gonna slap him away for a hot minute. Once those levels do come in, it does change the conversation a bit, yeah. But like we were saying, these lanes are going pretty as expected. The Akali versus Silas matchup is always, more left up to skill, with a little bit of luck in there, with the trading patterns. Is Barrett getting the better of Diomar, pre-6, the sure can flip goes under
Oh,
tower,
kill.
flash to follow the first blood. Easy ignite, easy life, as that's Mercenaries getting first blood for the first time in this series.
Yeah, but here comes the TP out. No flash available for Barrack. Red buff autos coming out from Zadox. This should be a kill
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, it's gonna walk him down, return kill there as the good stun through the minion line does Sweaty Toast get onto Sindelian. ZXYC taking a good bit of damage. No, Ziggs does a disgusting amount of damage early, especially with that passive auto that he does get off. As he's walking right into Rourke here, double buff, jumped in. The target selection gonna be over the wall. Flash to follow, flash indeed, trying to get that stun up. Oh, double flashes, everybody's flashing out, getting a double kill for Rourke as well. They're just gonna take the portal back through the lane and continue on their farming way.
This is exactly what I was talking about in Champ Select. If Mercenaries is able to stabilize this bot lane to the point where they're at right now, they have this huge wave coming in. I know it's Tristana, she can't freeze, but she can at least get some of this experience, some of this gold. They don't have to worry about Sindelian already snowballing 4 minutes into the game like he was in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
This is the spot Mercenaries wants to be in.
Yeah, and as we see Barrack and Diomar once again at each other's throats, no Ignite for Barrack and no Flash for Diomar now, as Cinnamon trying to shadow for a gank up top, but Ratchet already out of lane. Like we were talking about, once he hits level 3, he gets those boots and he hits the road jack, and he's able to catch out Cinnamon from trying to make this gank up top to potentially help out Barrack. But yeah, just Ratchet things, that's that high level support play that we are talking about. Is Diomar takes his trade, the chain lash comes out, good amount of damage coming back onto Barrack, as the top lane matchup is just so back and forth between the two of them.
Yeah. Going back and forth like you said, but here comes Sindelian and
Oh,
Zadox.
Toast! Yeah, Toast is not long for this world.
No.
As he's trying to buy as much time as possible. Doesn't have the flash available. Will get the kill.
Sindelian.
Yeah,
I
first kill
spoke
for
too soon.
Sindelian. We were talking about it.
Oh no, not
Oh,
like
the
this.
curse. Yeah, and Barrack taking more trades against Diomar, who does get the Kingslayer and the Chain Lash going in, looking for the abscond, abduct. Ooh, the execution on the Shuriken Flip onto the minions. Both not level 6 yet. Here is Rourke trying to buy time. No, he will go down. You will hope that Rourke will get the kill. Yes, he does get the returning kill on to Diomar, but at the same time, Glaive will pick up this here first Cloud Drake, and that's just a quick pickup for them, and they go on their merry way. But that was so close for Barrack to actually survive in that 1v1 in time to make it a 2v1, but Rourke just a little too late. Manages to pick up the kill in return, though.
Yeah, it's a lot closer this game. I think Mercenaries actually have the gold lead right now. They're playing through their win con and Warwick is in position to take over this game. If there's anything that I hate playing against, it's a Fed Zinzao. He just keeps sticking on top of you with his W and
Yeah,
his E combos. And if he has this sustained build that he's going for, the Gore Drinker Sterix build,
yeah.
you can't kill him because he's ahead.
Yeah, that's what they've been looking for. That was their recipe for success in the yesterday's series. And the dive is coming in. It's a 2v3 situation. Good head, but perfect pillar to stop
God.
him getting away. The blast pack comes out, and that is going to be a double kill in the bot lane. Double kill going for Sindillion online, and he's starting to turn the tides here in this game.
No, dude. Civilian 3-1-0 already. I'm having flashbacks to the Swain game.
Yeah, flashbacks to the Swain game, flashbacks to the Ezreal game. It's absolutely terrifying for him to get these kills and get everything off. As Diomar, his level 6, he managed to steal Barrick's ultimate, so he has the flawless execution available to him. Cinnamon Bread was in the area, but is walking back down to mid lane as he's 30 CS under his opponent, but he's still opting for these roams. So not the smartest of plays, in my opinion, to go for. As Diomar's going for the all-in, as Barrick does not know that Ratchet is here in this top lane. This is roaming support that goes everywhere. The Fox Execution one does go out. There's one, there's two under the shroud, trying to stay alive as fast as he can. He will dodge it out with that last charge. But Diomar charging up on the pots, eating some biscuits to get that sustain up. So looking to proxy this wave, go under the tower, and make sure Barrick does not even try to stay around, or he will lose his life.
We saw the side of Glaive do this yesterday in their series, in their second series, where they would stack this top wave and then commit multiple members to the top side of the map to deny this wave from
Speaking of committal, Warwick is here in the bot lane, diving straight on a Sindillion. Blast Pack will get them out of there. He's supposed to charge. He will go down, but that will be a shutdown claim by Zadix on this Trundle, and he's going to try to follow Sweaty Toast, who has already burned the portal, but yes, he will get away. 1-for-1 trade, shutdown gold, though, going over to Zadix, who was just there at the perfect time for his team.
Great response coming out from Zadox there. Good counter gank. Sindillion using his zoning abilities to great effect, and the fighting just continues.
They don't want to stop. They don't want to stop at all. Ooh, good interrupt, but Sweaty Toast will get through and keep his life here. But this red buff, fighting over objectives. Glaive loves to do this. When Become Lightning does land, Audacious charges there over the side. Sweaty Toast lands the stun onto the wall as there's Warwick going back in. Flash over the wall from Super Big Ego, leaving Ratchet to his devices, jump over the wall, trying to get the kill over to ZXYC, but he will get an assist there. Still something getting off the Sindillion, gonna throw some damage back over as he's running on his merry way. Sweaty Toast, very low. Gonna try to go for this ward, but Sindillion's full here. Looking for the bouncing bomb, not gonna land it. Sweaty Toes really trying to go for these times that he doesn't really need to go for. Luckily lands a stunner. That would have been his life there for sure. You have to think as, yeah, two-man combo, Warwick and Cinnamon Bread, like we were talking about champion-wise, Lee Sin and Xin Zhao do a lot of damage when they are able to get in and stick onto their targets.
Yeah, and Mercenaries kind of telling Glaive, you have to respect us. This is not game 1. This is not game 2. This is game 3, and we're the ones with the gold lead. You can't just walk into our jungle and expect to take whatever you want without us fighting back.
Absolutely. They're going to make them work for this third victory that they're trying to get. As under the tower, there is the all-in. The Ignite is burned here. Could that be enough with the Shuriken? Ooh, I mean, the Kunai, no, not enough. But Warwick is here. Zadok's looking for a roundabout gank to try and get a return kill. But Barrick's going to go ahead and heal up with the Kunai, as Zadok's going to try and shore up, thin out this wave here in the top for DMR, who has the teleport of advantage and will use the teleport to get back in. Rourke trying to shadow his man, make sure he gets out safely. The ass that back gonna get delayed. Cheeky little play there from Zadix and DMR, making sure that Barrick gets that delayed recall.
Yeah, and big wave coming in for DMR. Can't freeze it, unfortunately, because it was pushed up a little bit with it being dragged, but nonetheless, he's going to be able to try to get this wave in, deny a little bit of gold from Barrick here, who does not have this TP.
Right, and it's seeming that Glaive has, ironically enough, slowed the tempo of Mercenaries, who is trying to build to a crescendo. I say that a Cinnamon Bread does go in, take a nasty trade with Super Big Ego, but the portal over the side, the rocket jump in, Super Big Ego having the relentless pursuit away just to keep his life after that four-man dive. Infernal Drake is live. Ratchet and Sindillion are in the area, as well as Zadix. all positioning for this dragon. It is currently it's a 3v3 situation with both mid laners still available. Diomar and Barrick, both without their teleports, not able to join the fight immediately. It will be started by Zadix. Suetos is over the side. Looks like Zadix is the target. They should charge in. Crescent Guard is out. Blue team will take the dragon. That's in Mercenaries wheelhouse. That is the good ultimate coming out from Toast right now. It's not looking like they can get the kills all picked up that they want. Does he do Lee Syndrome? Yes, he does. Takes the Resonating Strike, go around with the Sonic Wave, and grabs the kill.
He waits out that Pulverize perfectly there.
Yes.
And Mercenaries is playing so good. They reset their mental after game 2. They're going into this game 3 with a fresh slate, and they're in the lead. They're tied up in dragons, up in gold. They need to really push this advantage and start to take some of these plates and look to pressure down some of these towers.
Yeah, it's definitely like they're playing like they haven't lost a game. They're playing aggressive. They're playing a faster style. They're making smarter decisions. It's showing. This composition definitely plays to their strength with Rourke and Barrick being able to go in, and Cinnamon Bread also on this Lee Sin, another melee champion, going in with them as he's going to get chased out. But he has many ways to escape, so he is perfectly fine. The goal of keeping down Sindelian from getting too big is definitely starting to pay off, as he is like, the strongest member on his team for sure. It's just not giving him all the attention and accidentally giving him over all the kills as this gank up in the top lane. DMR is here on the Barrack, who does not have flash. Remember, Temper Fate. Oh, ZXYC smart, going to the Temper Fate to stay alive, to keep himself alive in this fight. Meanwhile, on the backside, Rourke is 1v1ing Super Big Ego, who cannot get away. We're talking about the stickiness of the Xin Zhao. It's on full display here as Ratchet goes back in. Wind becomes lightning, barely doesn't land. ZXYC very low. Sindelian does not have the Mega Inferno Bomb available. ZXYC is still living with a good little bit of health as Mercenaries are trying to knock on this mid lane tier 2 tower. Rourke coming around the side. Sindelian does scout this coming. He is in a bad spot right now. Wind becomes lightning, does jump on to Zadix, who does proc the ultimate as well. Over the side, here's Cinnamon Bread. That Lee Sin being able to get in fights wherever he wants to. They're on to Sindelian, and he is taken down. Wind become lightning lands on to Zadix as they beat the poke out. Sweaty Toast gets a really good stun on the Super Big Ego, who is now back, but oh, Rourke, you don't want to run that way, running right into the face of Diomar, who gets the shutdown as Cinnamon Bread does try to kick him away, but it's not going to be enough. Good shutdown gold going over into the pocket of Diomar here. Mercenaries playing it hard, trying to get these kills and objectives on Glaive. They have played that last fight a little bit skeptical.
Game is super scrappy now. They're just kind of taking orthodox team fights, and I don't want to say it's going towards Fiesta, but at this point, they're fighting over nothing. Normally, we see these teams fighting over whether it's a Scuttle, a blue buff, a red buff, a camp, a dragon. That last fight was just a fight. There was nothing they were fighting over, and it went on for so long. And we saw the power of Mercenaries comp. If they're able to dive together, they're gonna be able to completely delete some of the members of Glaive. We saw Sindelian get completely deleted by Cinnamon Bread and Rorik diving on him together. And if they continue to do that, these team fights are going to continue to go towards the favor of Mercenaries.
Right, and it's like we were talking about, fighting just for fighting's sake. I understand trying to get a pick and catching somebody out, but you have to know when to fold or when to hold, as the saying goes. So getting out, if you don't get that successful pick, that's totally fine. Make them blow their resources, make them blow their cooldowns off your plays, and go on with something else. But that turned into a shutdown going into the pockets of one of the strong members on the team of Glaive, as they're going to pick up the Scuttle. Mercenaries are, and looking back towards this mid lane is Cinnamon Bread. He's going to go ahead and take first turret, 15 minutes in, first turret of the game, and giving Mercenaries another big gold boost. This is what we like to see. This is what we need to see them to get them back into the game and potentially take us to that game 4 and keep them in the series. As Diomar jumping straight onto Barrick, full combo. Everfrost going out too, diving under the tower, flawless execution. Barrick he holds onto his ignite as he knows he wouldn't be able to win that 1v1. He managed to survive just barely. Has to back off as he did get pinged out that Zadix is in the area. Ping's coming towards that top side, as the rest of the members of Glaive are rotating around this mid lane, where the rest of Mercenaries are trying to knock down this tier 2 tower.
His third dragon is spawning here in the next 15 seconds, excuse me. This Ocean Soul. Um, doesn't look like the side of Glaive is in position to contest this. Zadox is taking the topside camps away from Rorik, while Rorik is sitting in Dragon Pit. So this is most likely going to go towards the side of Mercenaries. I wonder if Glaive is going to trade this for this Herald here.
It doesn't look to be the case, as we do have Diomar backing right now, and Zadox is taking blue buff from Rorik's blue side, but it's just looking like they're trying to get some more waves, catch up some more gold, show up this tiny little gold that Mercenaries does have. The Tempered Fate goes out, goes wide, good stun landing onto Ratchet, but that's not the prime target you want to get, as Barrack has caught out Zadox. He is by himself. He does have double buffs, he does have his ultimate available, but Barrack is there with the Ignite to negate some of that healing, as this is the catch that they were talking about. This is a fight that they want to take, and Barrack will claim that kill credit, and this first Herald rather, is available for the picking, and it's Mercenaries closing in on that to get that for themselves.
Yeah. We're going to see Rorik start up this Herald, and we do see that stun land onto Ratchet here.
Ratchet, yeah, he's just going to give his life. He knows he can't get out. Those Ignite will tick him down. That's a kill going over the Sweaty Toast, picking that one off the mistake that Glaives have made.
Yeah. And Mercenaries is in the driver's seat now. They have these two dragons. They just picked up Herald, up about 4,000, a little bit under 4,000, 3,500 gold it looks like. Excuse my math here, 3,200 gold. Nothing too crazy, but this is going to grow significantly with this Herald being procced.
Yeah, them getting that Herald is actually what they need. And Cinnamon Bread on a rampage, completely deleting Syndillion, not having his best game on the Ziggs, and they're going to get another charge off on this tier 1 tower. Not going to take it down completely, but getting significant damage on there. Mercenaries playing as a unit, playing together like they need to keep them in this series and force this game 4 out. In this finals that they definitely want. Diomar here looking for a hunting, but he doesn't know he's out, man. The Sonic Wave goes wide. Tempered Fate goes out, does not land, as Diomar still hunting, just being cheeky, buying time as the rest of the team shows up, because here's Ratchet on the flank side. They're going to walk up together to this wave. Rorik saw him walk through that bush. This could be the 1v1. He does steal the Crescent Guard. It's still available. Rorik is waiting. The life steal coming out from Diomar is so impressive. He's flashing forward, trying to get that kill, but no, Rorik will survive. Oh my god. He keeps his life, as we have Zadox rotating up to meet with Ratchet to get out of there, man, because they don't want to take this fight against Mercenaries right now on this super fed 8-2-4 on Rorik Xin Zhao now.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, he now has Hysterics, he has this Core Drinker. It's going to be very difficult for the side of Glaive to get through this. They finally are getting some anti-heal. We see that Oblivion Orb being picked up for Syndillion here. They definitely need to get it onto a couple more members. At least they are recognizing that they need to itemize towards towards this anti-heal. So hopefully, you know, in some team fights they're able to get through Rorik. But if he continues to play how he's been playing, he's going to continue to live through these team fights. And the same thing goes for the Lee Sin. Their itemization is pretty much identical right now.
Yeah, both of these bruisers building bruisery things, as we have Sweaty Toast pulling a recon mission trying to get out, as all 5 members are trying to collapse on him, putting some wards down. The man just wants to ward. He wants to keep up the vision, keep up some intel, but he will get out as he does land the stun onto Ratchet. Still channels the Hex Flash through that. I did not know that was an interaction, but okay. You learn something new every day, you know? So it's now they're waiting down. They're trying to get some objectives. Mercenaries splitting around the map, doing what they can. Dragon spawns in a minute 30. Baron is now live, as Cinnamon Bread has been the turret knockdown master for his team. All 3 turrets have been taken down by him in this game for the side of Mercenaries, and they're in a really good position right now to potentially force this game 4, as everybody's looking towards the mid lane for some action happening.
Yeah, it was maybe they're gonna catch him in red here.
He still has the Resonating Strike. He still has the Warhop available. Flash is just burned as he does get away. Cinnamon Bread jumping into 2, but he jumps into Waiting Arms, and that's a shutdown coming in for Diomar, who is still alive and still healthy. Rorik does slay Ratchet. It's a 4v4 situation. as the rest of the team will be joining them. Rourke goes back in to try to get a kill. He's back into a corner, can't flash over it. No, the man will get taken out. DMR picks up 2. That's a shutdown and another bounty. You don't want to go into the pockets of one of the strongest members on the Glaive side, as Dragon is spawning here in 30 seconds. Both will be up in time for it, but that was a big backpedal that Mercenaries didn't have to take. Cinnamon Bread not really paying attention to his complete surroundings and tunneling on the kill he was trying to get.
Yeah. Um, they're able to use that healing reduction now that they have on 2 members to make sure that the healing doesn't go off for Rorik or for Cinnamon Bread. Pick up those 2 shutdowns, and they're slowly clawing their way back into the game. I think now they're feeling confident in their comp, and I expect to see Glaive fight for this 4th dragon here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they have the items available. They have the scaling where they're at right now. And this second dragon, wait, look at the map. The pings are there. So Glaive's going to go ahead and take this dragon, but the rotate is all up towards everybody going for this Baron. 20-minute Barons are risky unless you're extremely far ahead, and it's looking like Glaive have sniffed this out as they have started it on the side of Mercenaries, but it's not going down nearly as fast as they want. Dragons are tied 2 apiece. The Tempered Fate coming out from Sweaty Tempest, looking for an engage on a Sindillion, but no, won't be there. Perfect pillar, double stun up, flash over the side, gonna go for Ratchet. He's the first man on the target. Super Big Ego dashing back with the culling being blasted out as Ratchet surviving for as long as he needs to. Flashes over the side. Barrett does not have flash to follow. The flawless or the perfect execution is there. No kills on either side. Multiple ultimates were burned. As this is, look at the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Just needs to be breathed on. Just walk up and hit it one time. There it is. So that's another tower going down for Mercenaries on this Tristana. And that fight around Baron could have been something absolutely dreadful for Glaive if they had gotten caught out.
Yeah, Glaive, opted to go to stop that Baron. The moment that they saw the side of Mercenaries were off of it, they peeled back, but that Shirelios was available for the Bard, and they chased down.
DMR is charging, chasing really far for this. Rourke is just walking out. He's on the Honey Fruit. He hasn't even burned any of his abilities. Now he's going back in. The Derek's Gauge is popped. He's looking to turn this, looking to burn this, but DMR, he has a false execution, but he will get taken out. How did that even happen? Rourke, he's still alive. He's kiting backwards. He actually gets a double kill. Off the wood becomes Lightning Procs. Zanya will keep Derek alive for just a second. False execution gets out of there. Oh, they're turning on. This is ZXYC jumping forward on the Sindillion, trying to get revenge for 2 games in this series right now. Is Zadok trying to take out Rourke? Rourke will not die in this series, and Rourke will be the bait that gives his team a 4 for nothing, and that is Mercenaries pulling the lever on the trap and taking out Glaive and ballooning this lead and pushing themselves forward.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Mercenaries the driver's seat now, and very important that Rorik is itemizing towards the Spirit Massage to amplify his healings and to help ignore the AP damage that's coming out from Sindillion.
Yes, absolutely. Looking at that perfect itemization, and with everybody just now respawning, the only TP available for Glaive would be Ego, and he's not going to want to TP into 5 members strong rather, of this Mercenaries lineup, as they're going to take this Baron, second time's a charm, I guess, and grab this for themselves. Oh man, Glaive have to get it together if they want to get this clean 3-0, or we might just be looking at a Game 4 situation here. Ivar, we were talking about it at the beginning of the day, and it's definitely looking like it could be a reality here.
Yeah, I think that the side of Mercenaries they're playing superbly well from in contrast to Game 1 and Game 2 here, and here we go again. DMR going in, gonna go straight onto the Bard.
Yeah, this is Sweaty Toast getting caught out, as yeah, DMR did steal the Tempered Fate, but goes wide with it as Sweaty Toast being able to get out of there. Almost bad for him. Bard's very squishy, very fast though. Was able to get out with his life. Not gonna waste a Baron on a man, especially one that can travel around as fast and slippery as Bard can. But
I will say this: the one shining light for the side of Glaive is that they do have this Ziggs. If this game goes late and they win one team fight, Glaive will be able to punish by taking a lot of towers very quickly. On the other side, Mercenaries has a lot of item advantages over their oppositions here. We see the side of the jungler 3 items to 1.5. We see the mid lane 2.5 to 1.5. So they definitely are in the lead here. They just need to make sure they pilot this mid to late game here to the right direction, and it looks like they're doing that. They're focusing the objectives and not taking fights that they don't need to.
Yeah, focusing on the objectives, using that Baron, using the power of a sieging Tristana, as Ocean Drake is going to spawn here in 50 seconds. You would think they want to rotate over and grab that, or they're going to look for another pick as they are on to Zadix. The mark is there for him to dodge charge over. Diomar trying to shore up, burns the Eversauce proc. There's the Shirelia's burn from Sweaty Toast to try and get onto somebody, but the slow is just there for Zadix, who hasn't had too much agency on this Trundle, but the pillars are doing what they need to. Cinnamon Bread looking for the insect as he drives in onto Cindillion. Gonna survive for a hot minute. Great Tempered Fate actually does keep him alive. Super Big Ego is not able to take him out. He does survive a little bit longer. Zadix does get the kill, but this is them diving under. Very low health bars all over the side. ZXYC kills Ratchet. That's gonna be another kill coming down. Oh, that's only 2 members alive. 1 member alive. It's just Zadix against 3 members of Mercenaries in the base. They still have Baron buff and they still have their ADC. The ZXYC gonna turn back over to this inhibitor tower. They're gonna take that. They're gonna take an inhibitor for themselves. They could in the game just these 3, but they're just gonna play the safer option and take the inhibitor and get out. The Ocean Drake has spawned, and they are going to make their way back towards that. Rourke is already over there, quickly followed, closely followed by Sweaty Toes, and ZXYC showing up in a moment. But you could, that was the play that Mercenaries was looking for. Had it gone a little bit more to their way, they definitely would have ended off of that.
Yeah. Great mechanics coming out from Cinnamon Bread. Using that first Q, waiting out the buffer of the time just to the last moment to be able to Q in, war jump, look for the flash insect kick onto Cindillion. Cindillion responds with a flash of his own, and by the time all that goes down, his Q up is up again. He lands the Q again, and he just completely deletes Cindillion from the fight. I don't think Cindillion was able to even use his ultimate, and it was a 4v5 from the start of it, and in favor of Mercenaries there.
Yeah, and we're just talking about, the survivability with that Steric Gauge and Gore Drinker. You jump into 4 people's Lee Sin, that Gore Drinker is going to heal you for a lot. So him being able to keep his health up long enough for him to proc the Steric Gauge extra shield, keeping him alive in that fight was very key. And that Tempered Fate being able to stop Super Big Ego from deleting Cinnamon Bread faster or getting any more damage out in general was key in that fight as well. And Glaive looking really shaky here on this game 3, and Mercenaries very much poised. This is their game to lose, you would have to say.
Yeah. I would say Mercenaries is definitely now in the driver's seat for this game. They are going to look to close it out here in the next couple of minutes and try to force that game 4.
Yeah, definitely looking to force the game 4, but Glaive, we know they're not going to give it to him easy, as they are piloting and crowding around this top red side tower. We're going on to Rourke. Is that the man you want to go on to? We know we have good survivability. Temper Fate goes wide as he does not land onto anybody. Ratchet into the background. ZXYC taken very low. Has the Ignite on, but the red buff is helping him regen up. Back on the top side of the fight. Nobody on the side of Mercenaries has died yet. Nobody is going down on the side of Mercenaries. They're all living through it. And that's 3 dead already for Glaive. That's 4 dead already for the Glaive. That's 5. That's a full ace for Glaive. And this is Mercenaries TPing into the base. That is an ace, and that will be Mercenaries taking us to a game 4 over Glaive in this grand finals.
Yep, they came into the game to win and not to not lose like they were in games 1 and 2, and they showed what they could do with a hyper-aggressive composition with the Lee Sin, the Akali, the Xin Zhao, and that game looked night and day from game 1 and game 2.
Absolutely. They looked like they were more comfortable. They looked like they had their heads on their shoulders and they weren't playing scared. It really looked like they found their groove. They found their pocket that they needed to get into. The confidence was very much there and it allowed them to just keep their level headed. They got their man ahead. They were able to get Rourke in the driver's seat and command the rest of the team because his play on the Xin Zhao was definitely key in Mercenaries picking up this victory here against Glaive in game 3. And we're going to a game 4. And on the day, me and you both predicted it would at least go to a game 4. You're hoping for 5 games. I knew it was going to be at least a 3-1. So here we go. We're going to take a quick break. Everybody catch their breath, get some snacks. It'll be all right. And when we get back into it, it will be game 4 between Glaive Esports Prime and Mercenaries. You don't want to miss it. To game 4, we are here. Oh man, We didn't think we'd get this far, but straight into bans. Here we go.
Yep, sides have switched.
Yes, we do have the side switch as well. And right off the bat, the bands looking pretty similar across the board on Glaive side as well, with Mercenaries banning out the Renekton and the Karma, wanting to keep those off the table, not allowing Glaive to grab those. The Nocturne, once
Gwen's up.
again, ban.
Gwen's up.
Yeah.
First pick. It,
Yeah.
it's
It's
locked in.
Yeah, it's up. They're gonna grab it immediately. So we will have Diomar on the Gwen. Hyper oppressive player on a hyper oppressive champion. It spells not disaster for Mercenaries, but it's pretty dang close. As
Yeah.
Mercenaries will grab Rourke his Xin Zhao. That is the hover at least. If we get that lock in, they're taking the time down, thinking about it. It's a high chance. I would like to say, yeah, and that's gonna be the
That
pickup.
after that last game performance, I think he deserves that first pick. They picked it first last time, and they pick it again here. And we
Yeah,
see the set being locked in for Barrack. I'm assuming definitely a strong pick into that Gwen.
yeah. You do see the set pick for the Gwen quite often. Maybe we do get that set Lee Sin Xin Zhao top combination and just leave the entire bot side to be another range combination. That would be really good. I would believe they'll play into mercenary strength, but no. Zadok says not today, kiddos, and picks the Lee Sin away, and then there's a Varus pickup as well for Sindelian,
Yep.
as he
And
did perform very admirably on that champion.
I'm calling it right now. This is Jungle Lee Sin.
Yeah. I would
It's
have to say.
Zadox. It's Zadox. It's his Lee Sin. It's for sure. It's for sure going to Zadox. At least, I don't want to say for sure. I want to say 80% going towards the jungle pick here for Glaive. We do continue to see. We didn't touch on this in the bands, but the 100% presence from Nocturne and Karma again throughout the
Yeah.
entire Invitational. Pick ban in every single game here. Um,
Okay. Okay.
Samira. Okay.
Yeah, Mercenaries gonna try the Samira pick once again for ZXYC. I do think he had a really good game on Tristana, and I do think she would perform very well here against all of this dive and also against the Varus. The range matchup is kind of fine, but opting in for the Samira, a bit more of a hands-on marksman. The Trundle ban, interesting, as we do know, Zadix has over 100 games on this Lee Sin played, so
Yeah.
we're looking for the Lee Sin to go to him. I don't know if that's just bad scouting on
So
the side of Mercenaries or if they're really just taking that chance.
I think them banning out junglers is making sure this goes into the jungle for Glaive. I wonder if they have some sort of intel not wanting to allow this to go mid lane in case Cinnamon wants to play something that would get hard countered by this Lee Sin. Because I'm fairly certain that DMR is taking this Gwen top lane.
Right, very certain. And I don't know if Ego would is much of a Lee Sin player, as Zadix is the recorded Lee Sin player on this Glaive lineup. But the double jungle bans on the side of Mercenaries does free up Ratchet's champion pool to play that Thresh, to play that Nautilus, whatever have you. And the Galio ban coming out for Glaive definitely puts a combination damper on Mercenaries. That would have been a good pickup for them to play, have that additional initiator plus the taunt plus the resistances granted from the ultimate. So we'll have to see what the response for Mercenaries is as both band phases are completed. The brand hover
It's locked
and the
in.
lock in. Okay, so they're going full in on it. I'm gonna assume this is a Cinnamon champion.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is this the pick that they wanted to play mid lane and did not want Lee Sin to go mid lane against? I don't know, but I'm super excited we're getting to see the brand here.
Yeah, the brand is going to be very, very influential in these team fights if he can get going, if he has ample protection to stay alive. But like we were talking about, Ratchet with his two key champions, the Thresh and the Nautilus being open, and either one of them he can pick, can make this brand's life a literal living hell. I already know he's already on fire constantly, but this just, signals the nail in the coffin, so to speak, and we'll have to see if they can play around this brand. If this is a support brand or not, that could also be an option for Toast. Is it going to be Cinnamon or is it going to be Toast? We don't know. And Ratchet going to lock in the Echo for Ego. I'm assuming since that would be making the most sense. Um, Very melee centric composition coming out from Glaive here, as the Silas Hover for Mercenaries really throws in the suggestion that this brand is actually going to be going into the hands of Toast rather than Cinnamon.
It could still be set support, Silas top. Still
Yeah,
a possibility.
yeah, because there is the lock-in that will be the set pickup, the Silas pickup. Set could very much be support and have Silas top lane against Gwen. I'm not sure on the specs on that matchup, but I do feel like it'd be more Gwen favored. Uh, it could be a pretty volatile back and forth, but this brand pick is very interesting to see because normally, if this is brand support,
It's
it
it's
doesn't
gonna
really match well with the Samira. If it's brand mid, that's pretty okay. Into an Echo, though, he will get bullied out pretty hard, you would imagine, as we are going to get into the client draft and get all of our questions answered here just a moment.
I want to say it's brand support. The OP.GGs don't lie. 71% win rate on the brand for Sweaty Toast here. I know it doesn't match up with the Samira, but sometimes it doesn't matter. If you're good at the champion, you pick it.
Absolutely, yeah, that does. Um, skill does come into play rather than synergy. And yeah, we do have the more games played, Sweaty Toast over Cinnamon Bread on this brand. So it might be the brand support. Brand Samira, that's a lot of damage if, the combos get off, but it's also very scary to get engaged on. And we were looking for a good ranged bot lane for the side of Mercenaries to be able to answer all of the melee range and dive that uh, Glaive was going to put on. And this is a pretty decent answer, I'd like to say.
Yeah. Um, we'll get these picks verified for you guys shortly. Their incline draft should be starting any minute now. Just waiting for the teams. I do want to touch on the top lane matchup here. We don't even know what the matchup is, but I think Gwen does good into either the set or the
For the
what was the
Silas,
other
yeah.
the Silas. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm expecting it to be the Silas if I'm being honest.
Yeah. It could be very much be the Silas. I'm very unfamiliar with that matchup. Could be something spicy. We don't know. We are into the actual client drafts. But just looking at the strength of composition with everything that's presented to us, Glaive is looking very, very scary with all of their picks. Mercenaries, they're looking like another uphill fight with this draft to carry out this game 4 and take us to game 5.
Yeah. Um, the momentum is definitely in favor of Mercenaries right now. But Glaive, their experienced roster, they're able to reset. One loss won't really push them too hard. Uh, they have Sindelian back on. I don't want to say a comfort pick, but more of a traditional ADC that he's been performing on throughout the Invitational. He's played this Varus pick 3 times already. So he played it yesterday actually 3 times. So he's back on the pick. Uh, if he's able to get that lead going like he did in games 1 and 2, he'll be able to be in position to carry his team. If not, I don't know. They do have this very dive-centric comp coming out from Mercenaries again, like we saw in Game 3. And if they're able to get going, they're able to close out Game 3. So anything's possible here.
Right, anything possible indeed. And we were talking about the Silas versus Gwen matchup, but if it is the mid lane, Silas versus Echo, that's always a fun matchup to watch because that is very much skill based. Two heavy AP skirmishing assassins, as they like to be called, or bruisers, AP bruisers, as you want to really put it, can definitely put a hurting on the rest of the team. And um, that ability, there are plenty of good ultimates for Cinnamon to steal if he is playing the Silas. Stealing a Lee Sin Dragon Kick is going to be great, as he does have ways to get into the backline with the abduct
Underdog.
abscond, and like the ability to jump into the backline and Kingslayer and get that Dragon Kick off. But also, if he wants to steal the Echo Ultimate as well, that rewind, he can do that too. And the Thresh being here is like the one non-factor you would say, because Needlework it does scale really well AP ratio wise, as will be building a lot of AP. So 4 out of the 5 ultimates that Cinnamon Bread could pick up are going to be really influential for these team fights. On the side of Mercenaries, and like we were talking about their dive heavy comp and their dive heavy presence, it's feeling like a more well-rounded comp on the side of Glaive. They can pick very well with the Chain of Corruption coming out, with the Death Sentence coming out from Ratchet. It's there's so many tools for them to grab onto somebody. You know, the Echo Parallel Conversions can catch somebody out if they need to. These team fights are very scary on the side of Glaive, but Mercenaries can 100 to 0 you pretty fast with their composition, I would say.
Yeah, I think the key thing we have to mention here is that unlike game 3 here, Zadox is on a champion that can match the early game tempo of Rorik. He's not on that Trundle, he is on that Lee Sin. So he's going to be able to match the tempo, and if he's able to out-tempo, or like I said, at the very least match it, we could see a very different landscape going into the mid to late game here. Because in game 3, we saw the early game completely dominated by Rorik. He was 5-1 and 2 at some point. I think it was at 12 minutes or something, where he was just picking
Yeah.
up kills almost in every lane. So that's the key point I want to point out now that we're done with the incline draft.
Right, yeah, being on that Lee Sin, having that definite early game aggression and definite early game power will allow Zadox to pace against Rourke a lot better. And we know that Zadox is a playmaker. We know that Zadox likes to play flashy and get set up these big moments for his team. And it's that was like one of the things that he was not able to do on the Trundle. Give him something like the Diana or the Lee Sin, and suddenly he becomes a different player. You see a different side of him. So that is a scary thought for Mercenaries to keep in mind as they do draft this pretty early to mid game composition, and to see if they can get the edge up onto Glaive and tie the series 2-2. We're going to go to another break real quick as we get everybody loaded into game and get everything synced up with the spectator delay. And when we get back, we will be into game number 4 between Glaive Esports Prime and Mercenaries. Bum, 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 bum. Game 4, baby. Here we go. So we have up in the lead Glaive Prime, and we have the Mercenaries trying to claw their way back in. They showed us they still had some fight left in them with that last game 3, and now we are here in game 4, ready to see if we will go to the Silver Scrapes game 5. Yes, Quanta, you have to play it if it does go to game 5, but if not, it will be the 3-1 for Glaive.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this brand pick. I think it's do or die time for the side of Mercenaries. They've realized that, so they're opting towards this comfort pick, at least in the bot side here. I would say even for the rest of the lanes, they're picking champions they're comfortable on, that have good scaling, good opportunities to make plays, and they just need to be proactive. They need to make sure they're playing the game to win and not playing the game to not lose. That's the
Right.
biggest key coming into this game 4 for Mercenaries.
Absolutely. And yeah, they're just, playing it as safely as they can, not gonna try to give anything too much away as Barrett does find Diomar, who does once again go TP Ignite on this Gwen to the TP Flash. And it's just the bullying that Gwen has available with her kit on that E start. It's just so scary to deal with. It's not the same set that was out launch and had that massive amount of health regen at the start in his kit. So
Yeah.
he really has to play at different ways, as once again Diomarsh is keeping Burke off of this CS.
Huge deja vu from yesterday. Exact same matchup, exact same start from Diomar, the Gwen into the set. Starting that E, going into that tri-bush, and just bullying out the opposition from this minion wave.
Yeah, and it's really going to be up to Wart to try and stave off some of that aggression from Diomar to allow Barrick to get some CS under his belt, because you don't want Set to get behind, especially not up against someone like Gwen. As in this mid lane, Cinnamon Bread does get in real deep. Oh, that's lethal territory, but nope, neither of them have Ignite, so that won't be the kill. The Conqueror being able to help out Cinnamon Bread heal up after in those fights very well and keep his sustain up. I am very interested to see on how Sweaty Toast does on this brand, support wise, because yes, he does have a pretty high win rate, 24 games, 71% win ratio, as I do see, and as we're
That should
talking
be
about it,
first
the
blood.
level two, the level two, the level two, the level two, the
Oh
shield.
my!
Oh, he does get first blood, as Diomar did have to burn the ignite, but Barrack did not burn the flash. That perfect level 2 timing, allowing him to get that shield off and survive long enough to get the kill guaranteed.
Yeah, and we see the instant TPs coming back, and the side of for Diarmar here, he needs to get this wave in. If this wave freezes here, he's going to be in big trouble because he's flashless. But we see the engage coming out from Oric onto
Over the
Zadox.
side, yes, they're going straight on the Super Big Ego, who is low. Chains land, but the flash coming out from Super Big Ego. They turn right back on Zadox, who flashes over the side. Will Rourke follow? No, he does throw the ward over the side. Ooh, Glaive, you're playing a little bad right now, little shaky on these throws, as Ratchet warming up with some zoning hooks, as they like to be called, and the stun lands. There's the passive in. There's the wild rush, and there's CXYC getting the kill onto Sindelian. Mercenaries, they are not scared. They are here to take us to game 5, and they are showing it in this early game.
Yeah, it took them a little bit to get warmed up tonight, but we're seeing it in game 4 here. They're
Oh, over the
really
side,
looking
over the side.
for space.
Rourke, hold on. Look at the bot lane. Rourke is over the side. He is in that bush. They're waiting for that wave to go in. He might just be here for the Krugs. There's no massive way for him to actually make a play off of. But him being down on the side, showing that he's trying to play towards the bot side, will be spotted out a little bit here by Ratchet, as both the bot laners of ZXYC and Sweaty Toast are going to back here in relative safety.
Ooh. Man, I had to catch my breath there. The side of Mercenaries, they're looking good now. Proactive gameplay coming out from the jungle, the top, the support. They're all looking for plays, and they know that if they're able to get this lead like they did in game 3, the game is theirs. So they're gonna need to play calculated and make sure they're able to execute on these aggressive plays. And if they are, then we're gonna be looking at some silver scrapes.
Oh no, over the side. Cinnamon Bread does have flash available. He's gonna hold it. He does flash. He knows neither of them have it available. He goes back in to get the healing. No mana though. The Conqueror will not be enough to keep him alive. A Super Big Ego will claim the kill back on to him, and basically equalizing that lead that he had accrued.
Yeah. Cinnamon Bread almost healed through the engage coming there with the Kingslayer on the Silas, but it looked like that Zadox wanted to donate that kill over, so he was just waiting for a Super Big Eagle to get in range for that second charge of his ETH and pick up that kill for himself.
Right, and it's unfortunate that the timing was there. He did burn the flash. So the flash timers will be off, as Zadox and Super Big Ego will get their flashes up before Cinnamon Bread does. But keeping this tempo, we're talking about the jungler that can match the early game tempo of Xin Zhao, and Zadox on this Lee Sin, he is playing a lot differently than he was playing, say, on the Trundles beforehand, and this is definitely going to be able to help him stay alive and stay in the mix of these early game fights that Mercenaries are definitely going to try and force out.
Mercenaries playing well, but at the same time, the game is super close. 100 goal lead here at 5 minutes. This is, I think, the closest we've had it at the whole series.
Yeah, this is the first game though that hasn't been over about 6-7 kills. Will land the hook, but Ratchet gonna eat a hefty amount of damage. Exhaust and Ignite both used by Glaive's bot lane. ZXYC still has the heal available. Sweaty Toes did have to flash there, did not get taken out. This brand pick definitely working out, keeping the damage up, as ZXYC able to land some good shots with the passive attacks, but no, now they're on the move. The Flay comes out. Sweaty Toast does not have flash. He does not have this Ignite. He's going to try and get some damage down on the Sindelian. He does get the stun up. That is a lot of damage. The Ignite just came back up. He's trying to burn him down with the passive as well as the abilities, but no, will not be enough to take him out. He will lose his life to Sindelian as fights still break out across the map, but ZXYC had to flash out because Zadox was there trying to take his life for himself.
Yeah, and it looks like Glaive is putting a little bit more attention than they did last game towards Sindelian here, hoping to try to get him ahead. Turning that kill over, looking for maybe a second one there. The hook didn't land, but we see it engage in the mid lane here coming out from Cinnamon Bread.
Cinnamon Bread, he does have the ultimate in his pocket available as well. Or does not have flash. He does have that damage coming out from Super Big Ego. That is a lot of damage coming out. But here's Sweaty Toast. This is a 3v3. The health bars are low. Cinnamon Bread will get the kill. There's the go jump back in. There is Zadox with another kill gun back onto Rourke. There's the ultimate burn from Cinnamon Bread as everybody is running for the hill, trying to get that kill. So you will get the heal. That's a big heal coming out but the kill will not give him enough healing to survive. And that's a double kill picked up for Jadex as these scrappy early game fights are Glaives to be taken.
Yeah, and Zadok's picking up 2 kills there, like you said. Sindelian picked up 1 for himself. And nice rotation coming out from the bot lane, but they're going to be losing this big wave that's going to be going into the tower.
Yeah, losing that wave, letting it crash. Good job by ZXYC to push that all the way to tower, get a few plates for himself, and just go ahead and rotate over. Mountain Drake is up. No team opt to take it. Unfortunately, they're going for these fights instead. We're back at a scrappy game. I spoke too soon because the Dragon is now started by Mercenaries. 3 in the area. It's only Zadix here. He does have the Dragon's Rage kick and the flash available to jump over the side. He's just going to watch it go down as Mercenaries will take first Drake.
Yeah, Mercenaries are going to be picking up that first dragon, that mountain dragon here. With the next dragon being Cloud, we're looking at either a Ocean Soul or Inferno Soul. Inferno Soul is going to be really spicy if it does roll here. There's a lot of champions that could use that burst on both teams. But we'll see what happens after this next dragon is taken.
Absolutely, yeah. They're looking to see this tempo up. Glaive at a very small gold lead, very small kill lead. The items are pretty much even across the board. CS leads here and there on both sides of the teams, and Mercenary is definitely playing this early game to the best of their ability, not letting it get too out of control. But Glaive is matching them considerably, as we do have a pause here.
Yeah,
We
pause
will.
coming out. It looks like Sindelian might have DC'd or something. We're going to switch the scene here real quickly just to keep competitive integrity, just in case people are watching, to make sure that nobody can see any of these vision lines that are on the map. But what do you think so far, the current state of the game here, Crow?
Oh, currently, this is like it's the most even I would say it's been all series. The previous games there were very noticeable swings between the two, and as soon as I'm getting to my talking point, we're going to go right back into the game. So I'll just
I think it actually pauses again. Just your luck here, Crow. It looks like it's paused, unpaused, paused. Maybe it looked like
look. My train
uh,
of thought can only take so much here. Okay, as I was saying, the the tempo of the game is just pretty even as it's been, and yeah,
again, the corruption comes out.
oh my God, Rourke, you could have waited just like 10 seconds not to die while trying to finish my point here. But yes, that will be Rourke going down as 3 men strong in the mid lane. Barrett gonna try and do a 1v1 on the Diomar. And Glaive picking up tempo. It's looking like they're saying press all pedals on gas as they're trying to push this early game up. As we do have Cinnamon Bread trying to clear out this wave here, show off the 3-man dive, but that's leaving the bot side with a lot of time with his turret. ZXYC and Sweaty Toes getting that damage off. Barrick walked right into Zadix.
No.
Good. That was a really good dodge out, but here is Cinnamon Bread. Gets Slip's gone over the side. Has to flash over though, just not letting the change. And Shelly helps him out. That's a shutdown going over to Cinnamon Bread. Sindelian though on a killing spree as the bot lane they're fighting. And between the two, that's very scary. As you're chasing on a Diomar, does get the passive, does get the field going, ignoring some CC. Will get out of there. No flash, but still is able to dash away from this 2-man assault.
Yeah, super nice facebreaker coming out from Barrick to stop Zadok's while he was safeguarding to that ward there. And it results in a kill. Cinnamon Bread does pick up that kill onto Zadok's. Both of them had to burn their flash over that Herald wall. And as I'm speaking of Herald here, it looks like Rorik is starting up the Herald here for the side of Mercenaries.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and grab that as it is a neutral objective that is on the map for them to take. No problem there. And that can help boost, get somebody ahead as both the top tower and the bot tower are below 4 plates. So one charge is definitely going to do a world of good for them. As Zadix, he took the Q, he took the W as well. He's going to get knocked up as the rest of the team's coming for him. Looking for them to clean up perfect Crescent Guard, trying to keep him away. The Ignite is down. Work will flash. Doesn't fall to the Ignite. He's still alive as Barrick showstoppers him over the wall into the W. He will fall in the end. Super Big Ego manages to grab that kill. But what a sequence of events that was. 2-for-1 trade overall. Glaive, though, still did manage to pick up the Herald in all of that.
Yeah, and the biggest difference coming into this game 4 from game 1 and game 2 here is that these skirmish plays are happening, but Mercenaries is swinging back in this game. They're not just turning over and dying, right? In the first two games, Glaive was taking every single skirmish across the map, but now Mercenaries is winning some of these, and we see some fighting in the top lane. Maybe not nothing
Yeah.
too crazy. But back to my point, Mercenaries is holding their own in these skirmishes across the map. They're able to pick up that Herald there, and hopefully going to be able to use that Herald to set up pressure on either the spot lane, this mid lane, or this next dragon that's spawning in a minute.
Right, you would think they want to put a bot lane so they can actually allow ZXYC and Sweaty Toast to get some sort of foothold. Yes, they have been pushing, but that's going to be a brand lane in general. He pushes really hard against you if you're not able to just completely shut them down. Where it's interesting because Sweaty Toast is 1-3-1, whereas Sindelian is 3-1-2. So you would think that Glaive's composition bot side would have a better time pushing in the Samira and the brand, but Sindelian is able to just not able to convert the kill lead and the item lead. Now that he has back though, he did get that Dust Blade, and that's very scary as there's no armor built on the side of Sweaty Toes, and he can go down real easy.
Yeah, I agree. We see some trading in the top lane. It's just DMR, snipping away onto Barrack here. Gonna look for a little bit of a proxy.
Yeah, and luckily Barrack was able to complete his Stride Breaker before DMR did get the Rift Maker. As he's going forward, there's the charge going in. Haymaker slows him. He's low on health. Rourke gonna get that kill going over to him. This dragon is spawning here in 2 seconds, and it's looking pretty obviously that Glaive is gonna pick this one up no problem, as the rest of Mercenaries aren't really in the position to try and take that from them, but they will go ahead and drop Shelly in the top lane for Barrack, who we know DMR does not have teleport, so he's not going to be able to get to that tower. So that's going to be first tower going over. Zadix does find ZXYC with that play and has to flash out just to stay alive. First brick, first tower of the game going over to Mercenaries, more gold in Barrack's pocket. And that's a big Papa set right now. He will get 2 charges off from Shelly as Rourke is shadowing around. This is an Infernal Drake, so not a lot of places for everybody to hide with these bushes. As in the meanwhile, Cinnamon gonna take a 2v1 by himself, and oh no, Toast got caught out. He's going to get taken down. Zadix is going to take him out. In the mid lane, though, Cinnamon is still fighting. Ultimate's burned on the side. Good flay into the Lantern combo, but Showstopper will ensure that he's going down. Wait, that landed? A shutdown coming in from Zadix as he comes out from left field and will claim Cinnamon Bread's life.
I think DMR has one more charge of this ultimate available, trying to get in position. It doesn't land here, and that's going to be an execute coming out for Barrack.
Yeah, that will be the execute. Not enough distance close between DMR and his opponent to get that kill off. Good thing that it wasn't execute. No goal going over there. ZXYC getting collapsed on by Zadix and Civilian, who are empowered and are pretty fast. Good Blade 12 to block, but Rourke is here trying to help out his friend. Nothing left. No Inferno trigger to speak of. They're taking these bad fights. 3v4. TP has been channeled. They're running immediately out. Rourke is very low. Did do the Crescent Guard. That is the shutdown coming back. Cinnamon Bread. He does have the Dragon Rage. He does kick into 2. Can he get out? He is exhausted. He will be taken out after the exhaust, and that's a double kill coming over for Ego.
Yeah, Ego really putting the team on his back in these team fights now, picking up a double kill there, landing these Ws, and literally playing Echo to the champion's limitations here. Going in and out of these team fights flawlessly, landing his Ws on multiple members, and waiting till the last possible second to use his Chrono Break.
Right, and it's looking to be like this brand pick from Sweaty Toast isn't really providing much, as he's not fast enough to get into these fights and provide the DPS even, or even some sort of aid, as he's going to get caught out once again. That's that Flash and Ignite available. Super Big Ego's going in. He has to Chrono Break. He dove under tower.
He was looking for the auto.
He was looking for the auto. Was not there in time. Did force Toast to burn both summoners, but that was also a Flash and an ultimate burn from Ego himself.
Yeah, if he was able to get that last auto, he would have picked up that kill. But nonetheless, he went for the play. He doesn't get punished for it yet.
Haymaker after the face breaker. The box is burned. Showstopper back into the rest of the team. DXYC gets the Wild Rush, does get the kill, jumps back out. There's a Dragon Rage hit coming down. Everybody's low. Cinnamon Bread does have a lot of CC, feels Thresh ultimate,
Fatal
not the
threat.
opportune one again. That threads through and gets a double? What the hell? Diomar going nuclear as there's another haymaker. That's a triple kill for Diomar, who will dodge out of the fight. He is still full health. ZXYC will claim the kill on the Shadows with the assist from the Sweaty Toast ultimate. He's staying under tower. That's a good landing, but Diomar's going deeper. He's going, and yes, that's a kill, but Ego will pick that up. A 4-for-1 situation here. Glaive, they're shutting the door on this Game 5 Dreams for Mercenary here with all of these fights.
I mean, I've cast a lot of games in my day, and not too much of this uncapped territory where it's a lot of Masters, GMs, and Challengers. But for me, it feels like this game is devolving to everybody show up mid and keep fighting. The classic NAA RAM.
Good
For the
old
last
NA area.
Yep, for the last 6 minutes, it feels like there's just been non-stop fighting in the mid lane, and the scoreline is showing that 30 kills in 17 minutes here in this game 4.
Yeah. Y'all need to tone it down a bit. Just slow it down, pump the brakes or something. Because man, I'm trying to keep up, and it's getting a little crazy as we do have this Infernal Drake spawning here in 50 seconds. You're gonna want to think that both sides will want to be here for this, as the bot lane for Mercenaries is looking to take out Ego. He has his ultimate back up, but no TP or flash available. We'll see how much his Echo can get away as he has 3 men on him strong. Takes the blast cone over, converges.
Wow.
Oh, can he get out? Can he dodge? He does. He dodges out of the Q coming out, and wow, he actually gets away from all of that. A lot expended, a lot of time expended from Mercenaries to try to get this kill onto Ego, and the man gets away without even having to use most of his spells.
Yeah, he draws so much pressure towards the bot lane that on the other side of the map, Glaive is able to pick up these 2 tier 1 towers that were left up for Mercenaries, really opening the map for themselves, trying to push their vision and look to position for this 3rd dragon that is spawning here in the next 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's spawning now, and Mercenaries not in position to try and take it. They were before, but they decided to back off. No TP available for Barrack to split push and then join down. So I'm thinking they're going to want to look for another Dragon to Herald trade, but they're not in position in time to do that either, as we do have Ratchet roaming up top with Diomar towards this Herald. There's no vision on it from either side, and yeah, they're going to take the Dragon, and they're going to look for the Herald.
Yeah, Dragon taken, Herald is being aggroed up. I think the side of Glaive is opting to not look for this Herald because they don't want to bite off more than they can chew. They were sitting on some gold there. They wanted to back, make sure they spend that gold. So this gold lead that they have accumulated over the last 19 minutes actually shows on these items here. And it looks like there might be a 5v5 fight brewing here on the top side.
Yeah, everybody's looking top lane, and ooh, good denial from the Lantern catch, but Diomar is a Rift Maker with 10 stat Medjais as there's a kill off to the side. 4v5 immediately. Super the Ego on a rampage as Barrack and Cinnamon have to run. Good flash to get out. Barrack trying to get in, looking for the Haymaker. Lands on the 4, but he's going to get taken down as well. As Zadok on the side gets a kick on the ZXYC, who does wild rush out of there. There's the Inferno Trigger coming down, and that's going to be another kill coming to him. So he is high on mana, but low on life. Going to land a kill. Conqueror is proc. They're looking for him. Cinnamon got a kite for his brother, and he's looking for ZXYC to get away. He's trying to stun off, hold off 3 by himself. ZXYC is just running for his life, trying to get out of there, but no, that will be a double kill going down, and that's basically a delayed ace coming over for Glaive as the Baron is spawning.
Baron?
It's just the fights that Glaive are able to take with the manpower and the lack of like taking this or like disengage from Mercenaries. They can't keep taking these fights, and it's showing. It's complete contrast from the game that Rourke was having last game. He was 1-6-6, where this time last game he almost had 10 kills to his name.
Yeah, and I touched on it like at the end of Champs Select there, that Zadok's is, we're going to see a little bit of fighting here actually. DMR might get caught out. Actually, it's Rourke is the one.
It's a Gwyn. What did you expect? 25 stack Medjais and the Rift Maker. The man is just absolutely unkillable.
Yeah, I was touching on it that Zadok is now on a pick here in Game 4 where he can match the pressure from Rourke. In Game 3, he had the Trundle where he couldn't really do much to match the pressure of Rourke that was coming out in the early game. But here in Game 4, we saw him counter gank a lot of these early game ganks coming out from Rourke, and he might not have got the kills in those counter ganks, but he made sure that Rourke wasn't getting the kills either. And that has stabilized the jungle to the point where his lanes were able to get ahead off their mechanics and their lane prowess that they showed in Games 1 and Game 2. And here we are at 20 minutes. It's looking like it's a, let me do some quick math, 7k goal lead in favor
Ooh, that was
of Glaive.
Can Cinnamon Bread get out of here? The CC field is there. He is dodging, trying to buy time, but no, Diomar godlike on this Gwen. They banned it away multiple times, but once he gets his hands on it, it's absolute carnage as Ratchet getting caught up in some of the carnage. Does pop the box down, does a decent amount of damage as Rourke is going to hunt him down. ZHYC's there, the Inferno trigger does come out. Yes, that will be the kill. In the top lane, though, Barrick trying to fight up against Super Big Ego, unstoppable as Jadix takes down Sweaty Toast off on the side. This brand pick not working out for them at all. 183. It's almost at the detriment of Mercenaries as they head for the hills looking for the respite of topside, but they're going to get met with the convergence as here's Super Big Ego with a super big shield and super big damage will try to take out Rourke, who has to flash over the side. ZXYC flashing under tower to stay alive as, yeah, Rourke knows he's not long for the world. Now Super Big Ego claiming another kill, getting chased on by Cinnamon Bread. Flash burn. Will not be able to take him out. Stolen ultimate. They're not stopping. Glaive want their heads on a platter as Zadix dives under. Legendary goes. Diomar once again gets another kill onto ZXYC. Zadix gets another kill onto Cinnamon Bread. And that's a tower taken for them. That's another delayed ace as just Barrick and Sweaty Toast have to watch under the towers. 3 men strong as Glaive try to dive. Barrick goes in, gets a good 3-man face breaker. Showstopper under the tower. That's a stunt tower for that demonic haymaker damage. That's crazy. You want to take those? That's a little bit something, but the kills 31 to 15, not even 25 minutes in. Ivar, I'm actually going crazy.
Yeah, this game is heavily shifted towards Glaive in the last 5 to 7 minutes. They only had like a 2 to 3 goal lead, but they've really ballooned that goal lead with that Baron. I really want to interested to see the stats after the game to see how much of a Baron power play that actually was. I think they might have gotten 6 to 7K added to their goal lead from taking that Baron. They just took fight after fight after fight, diving turret after turret after turret, not caring about their HP bars. They just wanted to kill the members of Mercenary, and it's showing here on the scoreboard. 46 kills in 23 minutes, 2 kills a minute we're averaging right now in game 4 of the finals here.
Yeah, and Ratchet had to flash over the side because he's about to get caught out. You do have this Infernal Dragon spawning here in 10 seconds. Mercenaries are here in position, but you have to look at the ultimates. There's no Cataclysm available for Sweaty Toast to cause that teamfight damage, that teamfight disruption, and it's just looking very much like this brand pick just hasn't done what it needed to do as Diomar gets killed off screen on into 4 people. He's staving them off as the Inferno Trigger goes out. Super Big Ego gets another kill to his name as well. Cinnamon Bread trying to get onto somebody, trying to get something back. Barrick fighting into 4. Starts with the Haymaker, gets a good face breaker, does not have the Showstopper available, and that's a triple kill coming for Sindillion. And their TP in top lane, yeah, they'll leave Zadix with the Dragon, but oh my god, that's another ace that quickly for Glaive.
Yep. 25 minutes here. So many kills. Oh my god, this has been a bloodbath here in game 4. That dragon is going to be picked up, putting them 1 soul point. The top inhibitor should be going down here. Actually, I think Super Big Ego is going to play it safe here and let the mid inhibitor tower drop instead.
Yeah, we were talking about it in this draft. We were talking about it during Champ Select. The pickup of this brand, it's not paying the dividends that we thought it would, you know? Maybe should have gone again for the Bard. Maybe should have gone for something with more initiation power, but they've been singling out this brand. It has the ability to get caught out so very easily, both by Sindelian and Ratchet in that lane phase, and it showed. ZXYC has been playing very well on this Samira, playing very well to stay alive and have agency in these fights. But when your support is getting picked off 2 seconds into the fight and you're not able to really put out the DPS safely like you want, it's just showing a detriment. And that's definitely been the tale of this game with how aggressive Glaive has been playing.
Glaive's definitely playing aggressive, and we're seeing Diomar now in the bot lane here. Actually, it's so deceiving.
Yeah. It's crazy, and he's getting collapsed on by 3. He has to buy time. Look at the healing. Dash and snip takes out Barrick. The Zanya's buying time. He just does so much damage, and he heals up just as much. A Sweaty Toast, once again, being singled out, looking to go for some sort of similar. 1Q takes out 90% of his health, and the auto will take off the rest. A good shutdown coming in for Cinnamon Bread as he wants to do the saving grace for his team, but oh no! Off the back of the Winder, Super Big Ego will get a kill and get a double kill and stay alive. The man has no health left and he's still here. And that's the third ace in 10 minutes? Like, what?
This
What?
game is this game is it's Glaive's game. They came out swinging here in game 4, and they didn't want to push it to game 5 here. They made sure that they were going to win this game, and they're putting on a clinic in game 4 here. I really don't have much more words to say.
Yeah, Mercenaries, they had an interesting game plan, trying to shake it up a bit with this game 4 draft and what they could do, but it's not enough because Glaive is closing the door on this redemption Cinderella story that they have, and it's you hate to see it because Mercenaries fought so hard to even force it to this, but Glaive, they're just turning it up another gear, you know? This is just like, all right, I guess we can stop playing now, and they're just absolutely brutalizing the Mercenaries here in this game 4.
Yeah. Looks like that Baron is going to be the next objective that Glaive is looking at. They're going to try to pick up that dragon, maybe rotate for Soul. Uh, Actually, they're just going to go straight on to Rorik. I mean, if they pick up this
He's
kill in
getting
the
clapped
jungler,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, Baron secured, kill secured, Diomar going deep into 4, will get stunned up, Pyroclasm gets there, shut down for Cinnamon Bread as he's trying to play hero over here, as Barrett jumps into 3, Sindillion snipes out Toast on the backside, ZXYT able to get the reset, Inferno Trigger is live, he is going in, exhausted, but will still get the shutdown, jumping in once again with the reset, Wild Charge takes out 2, that's a triple kill going over for ZXYC, he is low, jumps into Super Big Ego who will clap him, immediately take him down, no chance, clean up duty, call in the janitor, triple kill for Super Big, death timers are long, super minions are in the base, another ace for Glaive, and this could be Super Big Ego ending the game by himself. He has the minion wave, Warp is alive though, if you can get the 1v1, you best believe it's probably going to be time for him to end, as the third inhibitor does go down, he's just going to opt to back off and reset for another play.
At this point, Glaive is just dialing. That inset kick right into the piercing arrow coming out from Sindillion was beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Like, you see this stuff in like high level play and high pro play and whatnot, but to see it on in your with your own eyes right in front of your face, let alone to cast it, is just like something else entirely. Glaive definitely playing like the caliber of team we know that they are. The first seed here in this invitational, showing why they had that seeding to begin with. And yeah, they're just gonna take this Baron because there's really nothing Mercenaries can do. A Hail Mary play can't even grab it at this point. They're gonna get the Baron. The insurance policy, walk up, 5 man strong. Looks like they're going for this Infernal Soul Drake, what it would be here. They can just send 1 or 2 members here because Mercenaries don't have the strength to try and contest for this. As yeah, they're just gonna take Scuttle, set up some vision. It's basically dire straits for Mercenaries at this point.
Yeah. They have to look for some sort of a steal because they can't send 5 members here because that top wave is coming in. TP is available for Super Big Ego here. He can just TP in and look to end the game with the Echo. But yeah, just as I say that, the TP comes out.
TP on the backside, looking for that backdoor. The Expectate play is there. He goes into 3. Does he get taken out? I can't really tell. What was that?
Chrono break.
Chrono break to stay alive. Nobody died on the side of Mercenaries except for Barrett dropping the Diomar once again. Stunned up, Pyroclasm. Oh, Sweaty Toes managed to get the kill on Diomar. Wait, this could really turn the tide of the fight. They're going in. They're saying all buttons, all ham, go in. And they're doing the best they can. Sindillion will take out Toast on the backside, though. It is a 2v3 situation here as Cinnamon Red does dive in with that reset. Ward does take out Ratchet. Super Big Ego is legendary. 1v3 Cinnamon Bread against the world. Does manage to get a kill on his way out, but the Baron up minions are way too much for them to deal with. That's so much damage coming out. That is Glaive Esports Prime with another ace, another base take, and another win. They are your Aegis Invitational champions.
Yes, they came out in game 4 swinging, and they're able to pick up that victory there. What are you thinking here, bro? MVP for the series here.
MVP for the series, if we would have to say. Oh god, that's hard. If we're talking about the person that really carried out through the entirety of the series, I would probably have to give it to Sindelian, just because he was that consistent force through the entirety of it. Even though he did have that one bad game in game three, but like the rest of it, he just showed up. He's like every single time. Super Big Ego was always a consistent force for sure.
Yeah,
Um, but Sindillion just put up the numbers, put up the raw stats. If we're just talking about that last game alone, it's just that would be, Ego putting it on himself with that echo play. But man, Sindillion all through the entirety of the series was putting up numbers, putting up damage, getting those kills, or as we call him now, as he wants to be referred to as Pentadillion, the artist formerly known as Sindillion. So we can get an interview queued up with him, the winners interview, see how they're
yeah.
feeling, see
Um,
how they're
give me
going.
give me 1 second here. I think I'm just gonna drag them in. It looks like Sindelian for sure is gonna come, and it looks like they're telling us to drag in Ratchet with him. I think Ratchet played superb, so we can get them both in
Okay.
here. Just
Yeah,
give us
definitely.
one moment. Dragging in now. Let me just mute them so I can get them in here safely. Okay. Hello, folks. Let me just unserver mute you guys. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Hey,
how are y'all feeling off of that 3-1 victory? It was very hard fought in the game three, but y'all definitely brought it back here for game four.
Um, as like perfectionist as it sounds, we're actually not super happy with the 3-1. Honestly, I think that should have been a strong 3-0. We kind of really just trolled game three really hard. It really should have been an easy win. I think the draft was not perfect, but I think it was absolutely winnable from the draft as well, and we kind of just threw it away with some stupid early game decisions.
Yeah, even game one and game four, even though they looked super dominant, I think there's a lot of trolling. We could have ended a lot sooner in both games. So kind of similar thoughts.
Humble in victory. I see it. I see it. Yeah. But throughout the entirety of the series, I would have to say you two being the standouts on your team. In game one, pentakills, like what? Like what talk me through that process. Like the first one, okay, I understand that was a really hard fight, but the second one you're just like, all right, I guess here I'll take this one too.
Yeah. Part of it is just our team comp in particular was just absurd. If you let a Karma Ezreal get to two items, they really just become menaces. And I think generally we did a really good job about making sure we were front to back in the fight, so they didn't get random Akali flanks because that's like their
Yeah.
one lose condition for team fights. And we kind of just front to back, sit there, queue over and over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Ratchet, I want to come to you. Your play throughout this tournament and just all the initiators you playing the Nautilus and the Thresh, the Alistar too, like it's honestly some mad life type stuff right there, if I would have to say anything, or some Mata like stuff, because you seem to. Everybody makes the meme about the Nautilus hitbox or whatever, but you definitely made those dredge lines look like they were heat seeking with how many you landed and how many people you deleted out of the game with them. Just talking about that, like that is your preferred playstyle for sure. I would have to assume.
Yeah, I mean, those type of champions I think are really fun in solo queue, and that's why I play them a lot. Like you can ask Sendy, like when we're in draft, I'm telling the coaches whatever you think is best here. If you want to put me on Lulu Karma, I don't really care. But a lot of these players, a lot of these champions, I can make plays on, I can make roams on, and there's a lot more potential for me to do in the early game. But a lot of the times, if we're playing a hyperscale, then I'm comfortable playing hyperscale. You can play for lane. It's just about understanding like your champ's strength, your weaknesses, and your timings for plays. A lot of the times I look for timings. I look for times when the enemy's like, oh, hey, I'm calling my jungler here, and I can match the jungler, and then we're just winning in all fronts.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's just striking fear into your enemies when they see you running through. I want to talk about the series last night against Nightless when you decided, oh, yeah, I'm far enough ahead. Let me just go ahead and pop a Dark Seal. Like, like when I saw that in the inventory, I literally thought I was glitching on the screen because I'm like, wait, this man really all right. But yeah, just the amount of dominance you're able to show in your roam timings, like, all right, level three, Cindy, have fun, and just you're gone from the lane instantaneously. And do you think you guys' partnership in this duo puts you leagues above everybody else in this invitational?
I mean, those kind of sound like our comms, honestly. That's literally what I will say. But usually there's a lot more timing and prep that goes into it, right? Because
Mhm.
when you're playing and after draft, right, everybody should know their matchups. Everybody should know when they're strong, when they're weak. So it's always just a discussion as a team to kind of talk about roam timings and things like that. Like I played, I think 200, 300 games of Bard at the start of the season, so I got really used to roaming in like higher elo games and things like that. So it's just like a playstyle I think is more fun, and I have much more map impact that way.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Now coming back to Sindillion, the rest of the ADCs in this tournament, they are all like very high up in the elos and very good on rankings and whatnot. But did you feel like you kind of just took a walk, took a breeze through all of this because your play on the Varus on the Ezreal especially were just like it's making it look so easy for your team.
Yeah, I mean, so there was some things I think the ADCs in this tournament did really good, but a lot of them were just doing so many illegal things with positioning, which I think is really bad because I think as an ADC player, your most important job is to position well in the team fights because your whole job is to sit there, scale, and then win mid-game team fights for your team. So if you're randomly dying because you have stupid positioning, it really can cost you the game. I think that is the number one thing you have to do as an ADC that I don't think a lot of ADCs were necessarily respecting that I was running
Gotcha,
into.
gotcha. All right, so Aegis Invitational conquered. Y'all win it. Next up on the menu, doing well in Risen. If y'all want to talk about how y'all are doing in that, I'll give you a few moments to do so.
I think Risen's been a very good experience because I'm fairly new to the amateur scene, so it's very nice seeing a lot of how Risen teams play and kind of the gap between us and Risen teams. We played against Zeus Gaming, which you guys saw in Proving Grounds, playing against
Yeah.
C9 Amateur, we played against TSM Amateur, so it gives us a very different feel for the game where like the first 3 minutes are very impactful against those teams because they can make a lot of plays happen. Whereas a lot of lower tier teams, even though they might have Grandmaster, Master tier players, they don't actively look to win the game off 3 minutes. Usually the games were decided around a dragon fight, whereas those teams it felt like the game was lost 3 minutes in.
All right, I gotcha, I gotcha. Any last words from you, Sindillion?
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Thank y'all for being here. Yeah, Ivar, do you have anything you want to say to our winners?
Um, no, I think you touched on it. Thanks for competing, guys. Congratulations again. We'll see you guys here in the near future for the official Vanguards League that should be starting here in the next month. And good luck in your games tomorrow. I believe you guys have games tomorrow, correct?
That we do versus Dare White.
All right, we'll
Ah,
be
ah.
we'll make sure to tune in and cheer you guys on. I know if it's not streamed over on Risen, you guys usually stream it over on Glaive. So if you guys want to come out and support Glaive, make sure you tune into their stream tomorrow and support the boys.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Of
Thanks.
course, thank you guys. Yes, and congratulations once again to Glaive Esports Prime, your winners of the Aegis Invitational. And yeah, man, Ivar, this was such a fun little invitation over the weekend. Really good to see all the teams play, banger games, lots of clippable moments. Submit your clips at Aegis on Twitter. It's just everything you got. Like, loved it. And so excited for the start of this Vanguard League coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it was super fun, super entertaining to see the level of gameplay that's coming out. I think Mercenaries still came out strong. They did really well against the opposition in day one. They struggled a little bit against Glaive, but hopefully they don't get demotivated. They can go back to the drawing board here and kind of figure out a little bit more in terms of the team gameplay aspect and return and hopefully try to take some games off Glaive and have their revenge during the league. With that being said, I want to say my thanks to you, Crow, for joining me. Thank you to Quanta behind the scenes for the amazing production. Thank you to the staff, everybody that coordinated the teams, from our moderators, our admins, everybody. It was a great experience, great showing for Aegis Esports to the community. We are excited to get our league started. We probably will be back, not probably, our next stream, official stream, will be our group draw show for our leagues that will be on July 10th. But besides that, if you have any final remarks, Crow, the floor is yours. If not, thank you everybody for tuning in.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I just want to say thank you again. Always reaching out. Love joining up. Ever since I joined doing casting for this amateur, low collegiate, and free uncapped scene. I've been loving all the energy and love that I've been receiving from different organizations, all the teams, all the players, and I'm excited to do more work for sure. And I will see you guys around. I'm in the hemisphere. Everybody just send me a DM. It's cool. You know to find me at Beautiful Crow on Twitter, as well as Instagram, and as well as on Discord. But I'm gonna take the night. I'm gonna go get something to eat, and we will see you guys for the next games. Take it easy.